drink.
Yeah.
If you're streaming, I'll try to be quiet until
Yeah, shut the fuck
I
up.
need to say something.
Ah! Take your communism and, I don't know, do something with it.
I just gotta reiterate how happy I am that our first Super Magical Friday night, like, actually happened in a tavern. Friday nights at the Super Magical Fun Tavern,
Yeah.
the first one was having fun in a tavern. Perfect.
That's true.
Perfect.
Yay, I logged into the right account for this time on the first try. That, like, never happens.
Base, what'd you do with my character sheet?
I ate it.
Oh, I knew it. Filthy
So,
beast.
I never did finish doing the level uppy stuff, so I'll do that and then upload the new character sheet. So you have it.
Okay. If I'm honest, I don't even look at your guys' character sheets anymore because there's just too much happening.
Sweet.
Really?
So I'm totally gonna write down the next
I was gonna say, I'm
30,000
just
platinum.
gonna, start giving myself random things of XP.
No, you totally gave me the sword of deafening. Kills everything in one.
Oh, no,
one...
don't worry, I keep track of your loot. I'm not letting that get away from me.
It's like the GM weapons that they had in WoW that just killed everything in like 100-yard radius.
No, I keep track of your loot. Don't worry about that.
That was a thing? That sounds awesome.
Yeah, the GMs had like ridiculous, obviously cheaty armor.
I'll be right back.
That's not really
Yeah.
cheating because they're the GMs.
Gonna open my big old book of Dungeons and Dragoning.
But I know for the most, I mean, the only spellcaster that has spell slots, I think, is Krunch, right?
I have spell slots.
Wrong!
Oh, okay, never mind.
Same.
But
Have
my,
the party
my
as
spell
well.
slots are not changing for this round, so I just the total number of spells that I can do.
In fact, I think most of
no.
the party's magical. A lot of us have spell slots.
I'm black.
And I can,
That's true at this level. True.
and if I just do melee, I can attack 3 times.
I'll be right back.
Oh, nice.
Is Lance in here?
No.
He's... Any second now.
He's
Why don't we just
probably
kill him again and put his head in the jar?
he's probably just pooping or something. I don't know.
But yeah, I basically have to just trust you guys with your own spell slots and prepared spells. Save
well,
time.
You'll know something's up whenever I cast magic missile like 30 times in a round.
Hey, Hoover.
What up?
I like how you're streaming yourself changing the icon for the stream.
I just realized that I hadn't done that yet.
Also, it still says this is episode number 1.
It does.
It's like you literally did not even register that I just opened my fucking mouth.
Hello? Who are you?
The salt.
Oh, did you guys notice that there's the updated world map right now?
Is my house
Yeah.
on fire?
No, your house is dead. It was
Oh, yeah.
obliterated by
There's-
blueskins.
There's more stuff.
There'll be
Yes.
more and more stuff every week.
More
My
things.
house is on fire. Dear God.
I've started just, if I have like free time, just taking areas from paper and finally putting them on the map.
Right,
So
so
you'll
you
start
just
seeing
let us
more and more
continue
pop up.
having penis like.
We got people watching.
Ever barrel.
MLG Space Dorito is displeased with our lack of action.
No, he isn't. He said this sucks.
Don't worry. If you're displeased with the lack of action, just blame Lance.
Yes.
What's a lance?
All right.
Cleric?
Well, I think it's a long pole with a pointy end that you stab people with.
If he's still not on, let's just go ahead and do the recap, and he can just jump
Yeah,
in.
just do that. Just do
I wanna
that.
go ahead and get
He's
this
We'll just
done.
have eating mushrooms, just like me.
All right, here we go. Last time on Dragon Ball Z. No, not really. All right, last time in the world of Eius Magna, our intrepid group of adventurers pulled their ship, run by Captain Markard Nosebranch, into the Iron Raider Bay of Skullport. On arrival to the city, dominated by a large pirate ship in the center with a keep built on top of it, the Crescent Moon docks, and the characteristic debauchery and pirating of this city of smugglers, pirates, and swindlers. You guys got to the dock, trying to figure out where to go. Ended up just heading into the nearest tavern, following in the wake of Captain Markard to the Fiery Grog Tavern. Upon arrival in this somewhat high-end quotation marks and somewhat rowdy and raucous tavern, the party split to do their separate things. One was Irwen went to the corner of the tavern where an elven woman was challenging contestants to mage arm wrestle. The other half of the party watched and observed Irwen, or went to the bar to join Havilar in taking on Tofdir, who was the proprietor of the tavern, in his one-of-a-kind drinking challenge, the Fiery Grog Challenge. Havilar successfully completing the challenge and throwing back 3 fiery grogs, all with a beautiful fiery show to go along with it. Unfortunately, not being able to cap it all off with a 4th nail in the coffin, it actually becoming her nail in the coffin as she blacked out completely from the drink. On the other side, Irwen very easily beat this elven woman who twice actually in a best 2 of 3 in mage arm wrestling, she actually walked away winning a scroll of greater invisibility. And meanwhile, while all this was happening, a rowdy bunch of a dwarven gang called the Wild Axes were kind of stomping around, the leader of which was the first person to lose to the elven woman that you saw. In his rage and drunkenness, he began harassing the merfolk female who was dancing in the water tank in the center, and Golbore, with his keen eye, basically looking for someone to even try something that could resemble something teasing a fight.
Just looking for a brawl, baby.
Yeah, as soon as the action started, the brawl did commenceth. The Wild Axe in versus the party, and very quickly the Wild Axes were dealt with and thrown out on their rumps into the muddy streets of Golbore. Waving their fists in vengeance, they fled away, and the party continued their night of joyous drinking and eating and reveling. In the morning, the party began setting out to get back on their quest, which I know, Jackson, you wanted clarity on that. The party remembered that Sarah, a silver dragon in humanoid form back in Frostbane, asked them, well, the party being fully aware of the arrival of a Draco Lich named Deathstorm, also called Sirnak, and an ancient red dragon from the Feywild called Tyrath had emerged onto the northern continent, and Sarah had told you that they were seeking her in her lair, which she fled knowing that they were arriving. And she asked of you all a great quest and a great mission to do, I guess, one of 2 things during this time, because Sirnak was seeking to rally the remaining chromatic dragons from the survivors of the War of Dragons. You could either A, seek out these chromatic dragons on the southern continent before Sirnak and Tyrath could find them and destroy them, weakening the forces of the chromatic army so that they can be easier to deal with if a war is to come. Or B, seek out the remaining metallic dragons, as Sarah cannot leave the city or endanger herself and the future of Bahamut's holy warriors. So she asked that you, maybe, if you chose to, could seek out the other metallic dragons and rally them to the cause of defending this land and the civilizations that populate it for justice and to defeat the chromatic dragons once and for all.
Like the
party,
Expendables, but with cloacas.
The party, again, waking up at the Fiery Grog Tavern, set out to make their way to Nadine's old clan's tribe location, after hearing Tofdir mention that a great battle had taken place not too long ago where the blue dragonborn attacked Amkunar's clans in a battle led by, and Tofdir said that he had heard a great worm in the sky with his back to a thunderstorm led the charge, and just chaos and destruction was left in his wake. The party set out towards the sand gate when Draco spotted a very familiar symbol above a temple on the way out of Skullport, and it was the same symbol that was tattooed into his back. Upon going in there and making a sacrifice to Besheba, the goddess of misfortune, he was taken up into a transcendence and into a plane of Besheba's ownership and existence, where he communed with her personally in the form of a great deer with a gigantic rack of antlers that seemed to envelop the entire forest. And she mentioned to him and told him that now that he had chosen to be at her service, he had access to certain privileges that Besheba disclosed to him. Him returning to his material self in the prime material plane, none of you the wiser, you all set out towards the sand gate and to find what you think now to be the remnants of Nadine's clan. So, you all are walking up to the sand gate. The streets are somewhat busy, as it being early in the morning. You're seeing a lot of the drunks kind of making their way into their homes. A couple other temples, one of which is just beginning their service. And you all are walking towards the gate. When the gate opens prematurely of your arrival, and wheeling in a cart up ahead, Gesh, you immediately see these two, because they were mentioned to you in the Fiery Grog Tavern. They look like a dwarf and a human who are wheeling a cart behind them, on which are mounted on spikes heads of brass dragonborn. And they're just looks like they had been out all night long and are wheeling their cart in, just talking amongst themselves. As you all approach the sand gate, you can see out in front of you in the distance, a few miles, you see the dusty, sandy winds of the eastern sands before you.
So
I definitely want to go.
I was just going to say, Golbore's going to furrow his brow looking at the Dragonborn, look over at Nadine, and confirm that he is also, in fact, a brass Dragonborn.
Yes.
Yes.
And upon realization is going to, ooh, and to just step away.
Alright, so I'm probably going to take a look at Golbore, point out these two guys, and, I give them the look like, is it okay if I just, eat these dudes right here?
Golbore's just going to very quickly and shallowly shake his head back and forth, no.
What's the deal?
They collect your heads.
And I can collect theirs. From what I understand from our travels, you do have a book of faces, yes?
I do have a book of faces, but those people deserve to have their faces added to my book.
Alright.
And I believe last time you tried to add a face to one of your books, you ended up getting your ass beat, and it cost me 2,000 gold.
Hey, that wasn't my fault. That was the other Dragonborn's fault.
I'm just saying. I'm not questioning your potence
so now
as a
you're
lizard.
throwing me under the bus. Excuse me?
Yes. Yeah. Oh no. Yes. Soup is definitely under the bus.
Yep, definitely.
What's a bus?
What is this invention? This multi-wheeled atrocity.
It's a magical being that stores people in it.
So, Ace.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to recall what was said about this wagon, because you said we heard about it at the tavern?
Yeah, well, probably most of you wouldn't have paid too much mind. It definitely would have rung in Gesh's mind, because Tofdir mentioned that the word of the destruction of his tribe came from a couple of dragonborn hunters who brought back the word that their goods were of less in stock because of the loss of dragonborn lives out in the desert. And he mentioned that they were, in fact, dragonborn hunters.
That they actually
of my kind.
hunt dragonborn.
You sure you're not going to have my back if I decide to eat face? I mean, you talked big about truth and justice and all this before, and we've seen injustice in front of us.
Are we in the city limits right this very second?
Yeah, you guys are probably like 20 yards from the Sand Gate, which is the gate that exits at the Eastern Sands. And right now, as you guys are talking, them and their wagon are getting closer to you. You see most people pretty much steer clear of them. As they're drawing closer to you and you get a better look at them, you definitely see one of them is a male dwarf who has a thick black beard, and it's in one thick braid down to the center of his chest. They're both in pretty nice leather armor, but mixed up with the leather look like dragon scales are laid on top of them. The one next to him is a somewhat tall female human, and she has blonde hair that falls to about her shoulder, and it's cut and staggered, and she has a very big crossbow on her back, and they're kind of talking to each other and wheeling the wagon into the city by horse. And they're probably about 30 feet from you, just going past you, not going towards you.
So I'm gonna
keep on walking, you fucks.
I'm gonna lean in close to Gesh and say, provoke them quietly, if you will, but do not throw the first punch.
All right, sounds good. So I'm just gonna, hands my belt like that, fingers through the belt loops. Just start waltzing up to them, just whistling.
Golbore's going to be amazed at Gesh whistling with no lips.
It's using the teeth and the tongue, really. It's not.
Yes.
No lips necessary. So are you trying to make? Because you're basically on opposite sides of the street. You're going to walk directly in their path, basically.
Hmm.
All right. As you do, the male dwarf who is closest to you is in mid-sentence with his partner, and he looks over at you and gives this kind of this smile and gives you a nod. And you see him reach down and he pats his side, where you see a bow that's slung across his back. And he gives you a wink and then keeps walking.
I want to wink back at him. And, I want to cross my path in such a way that, as he's walking, away from me there, have, my foot back and try to trip him.
Okay, so you try to trip him?
Oh, heck yeah.
Make a basic melee attack.
Oh, yes.
I'm not paying to have his ass repaired this time.
4 + 4. Holy crap.
Alright, so you stick your foot out from behind you, and it hits the dwarf directly in the shin. You see him stumble forward, and the only thing catching him from falling are the reins of the horse, and it kind of causes a bit of a stir as his goes elbow up to the reins on the horse, kind of dragging the horse's head down, and it lets out a whinny as he catches himself and looks up at you and says, "You better watch where you're going."
Watch what, sir? I don't know what you're talking about. I was just admiring your hold here.
Admiring it? Would you like to be a part of it?
Sir. You bite my thumb at... Do you bite your thumb at me, sir?
I assume our entire group sort of just listed lazily after after Gesh, not like in direct pursuit, but if I was close enough to hear that, we're continuing towards the gate, I'll stop and flank Gesh.
And what, Gesh?
I'm
hear ya.
going to be on one of your flanks.
Oh, okay. I thought you said blink, Gesh. I was like, what are you blinking? You have dragons in your eyes? What the hell? I thought you only had eagles in your eyes.
Just whatever kind of creature just flying out of my eyeballs.
As you walk up next to Gesh, almost at the same time as the dwarf reaches for his bow, the human reaches over and steps in front of the dwarf and in between Gesh and him, and she looks up at you and says, "You don't want to cause any trouble, sir. Why don't you keep moving and let us go about our business?"
I'll say I'll give the dwarf a wink and say, "Best hide behind your woman, halfling."
Ooh.
And then I'll put my hand on Gesh's shoulder and gesture towards the gate.
Why are we provoking these people?
The dwarf, you just hear him
Sport.
snarl, and the girl basically grabs hold of his beard, like around his chest, to hold him back. And she says, "We'll see how big you're talking if we ever see this one in the desert." And she motions towards Gesh. Says,
And
"Come."
I want to call out after the dwarf, and I don't suppose this would be like an intimidation check or what, but I want to tell him, oh, it seems you got a short fuse there, sir.
Golbore
The obvious short joke.
is going to just, with all the bass in his chest, just cackle and continue towards the gate.
You hear the dwarf yell out towards you. He says, "I'll look for you in the desert. And don't be surprised if Captain Vaughn doesn't hear about this.
And who might that be, sir?
Get off of me."
I assume we're probably far enough away
Yeah,
that it's not a
you guys are-
conversation at this point.
Yeah, you guys are walking away, and he's like pushing off the female, yells that at you, and then turns back around and grabs hold of the reins of the horse, and they start walking towards you see like what is probably their place of business, because you see a whole sheet of dragon scales hanging from a post out in front of the shop right before you get back to the temple district. But you all keep walking towards the sand gate, and you see that the gate is manned by a group of similarly dressed men that you saw in front of the keep out the quad roads in front, right behind the gallows, if you remember that.
No.
They have
Sorry, go.
They have great skulls painted like on their chests or on their capes that they would be wearing, and they're all just eyeing you, kind of like with this eye of these guys are clearly newbies in the city. And as you get to the gate, two of them step forward, and one of them says, "All right, you all exporting any goods?"
Nope. Not at all. Golbore, you brought anything?
Just arch an eyebrow over at Gesh and shake my head no.
All right, nope, none at all.
All right. Walk slowly. And as you all walk through the sand gate, him and his partner are basically just casing the whole party.
Now, the thing I'm wondering, Ace, is how am I carrying this lance now? Is it like retractable, or like how do you think it's like slung over like the back like a spear would be?
I was imagining like a spear.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
You tell me.
Yeah, probably makes sense. Like, I mean, considering like
Wait, did you?
technology level of where he's from, it's probably like more like a pike sort of deal rather than like a true like knightly lance, you know?
Did you say retractable? So like a lightsaber that you buy from Toys R Us, you just like whip it off to the side and fucking like, how about ye?
Can I have arrows that do that? That would be sweet.
That seems like that'd be very inefficient for the arrows.
No, it's for storage. You just expand it when you're going to shoot them.
Yeah, but what happens when it hits the target? Does it just fold up on itself and not do anything?
No,
Maybe
it's
there's some
got
kind
this
of
little
brace
push.
inside.
Yeah,
Let's
All right,
talk
all
Gesh
right,
topics.
all right, Hawkeye. Let's carry on.
So,
With your
as
fucking
you walk through the
gadgets.
sand gate, the first thing that comes into view, aside from the massive expanse in front of you, is there is a bridge, a stone bridge that's about 20 feet long, that spans what looks to be a narrow part of this huge trench that is basically carved out around the city of Skullport, facing the desert side.
Nice, nice. Oh, Ace,
And-
sorry.
yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you. One question. As we were passing by that cart and I got a good view at it, would I have recognized any of the people that were impaled upon it?
Give me roll an investigation check for me.
Wow. Wow.
Pretty good.
Well, I mean, they were pretty much mangled. I mean, they were clearly like shoved onto spikes. Several of them had most of their teeth missing. The heads were hardly recognizable, and what you saw in the wagon was mostly carved off parts of body,
That is
and
a
it was
shame.
just thrown into this wagon, willy nilly. It looked like maybe while they were out in the desert, they basically skinned probably like it looks like about 2 full-size dragonborn of their hides.
Gotcha.
Um,
I wonder if I make good shoes.
The answer
That's a
is
little morbid.
yes.
The bridge spans over this massive trench that's about 50 feet deep, all the way around. The bottom you see are just it's kind of dark, obviously because the sun's behind you, but the bottom is just tossing waves and jagged rocks, and in between the bridge and the city is that stone wall that you saw before, now battered with sand and dust, as long metal spikes stick out the top of this stone wall surrounding the city. Very defended city. It looks like they probably have had some trouble from this side of the continent. But you guys walk straight out, and the desert is before you. You see a couple like caravans in between you and the expanse. Obviously, like there's people kind of setting up their wagons and tents for anyone leaving out the sand gate.
Let's raid them.
Yes, because that's a good idea. Raiding right outside of a keep. I don't even know why I brought her along.
To get herself killed.
It's just a joke.
Yeah, but you say those things out loud and people hear
It's
you
just a prank,
and it
bro.
just ends
It's
up being
just
a
a
problem.
prank.
You gotta have at least 1 million followers before you pull that shit.
It's just a social experiment.
So we're headed towards, and I'm asking this towards Gesh. We're headed towards where specifically is your tribe located?
Oh, from here that'd be north by northwest.
And from a meta perspective, that's Apkanars.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Guys were being in the band together when I left, but yeah, I have to confirm the story. And also, we're gonna have to stop that fucking skin trade because I'm not gonna put up with that shit.
We'll stop them if we find them outside of the eye of the city guard.
Very well. Just leave one alive. Have to, or I'd like to invest my own sort of justice into this.
Is there anybody selling like large water skins outside of the gates?
Yes. There's three like merchant stalls, for lack of better words, of them. One of them is selling. You see just like skins hanging from around the stall and big casks of water.
Cool. I'm gonna snag one of those up.
Ira will too.
I shall 3, even though I got like a, I'm pretty sure we got like a hump like on our backs there that we store water. Or is that
I'll
camels?
grab one.
How much?
Give me 1 second. Let me pull my stuff. I gotta pull up your guys' money.
my hump, my lovely dragon.
Yeah, I didn't think a dragon would need water. I figured you just store that in your hump.
All right. So, you come over and buy two. Was it who? You guys bought one each?
Yep.
It'd be two silver for whoever wants to buy one. So.
Okay.
I'll just hand him a gold.
Okay, so that would pay for 5 water skins.
Alright. It's pretty much everybody.
Okay. All right, you do
Sounds
so.
bueno. And then I guess we're headed out to scope out the damage at Amkunars. Yeah, Amkunars.
Yes, but no, gentlemen, we must walk without rhythm, or then we will alert the sandworm. Or is that Dune? Yeah, she's getting his settings confused.
Oh no, you definitely. Gesh, why don't you make a intelligence check for me?
Oh dear God. They who might have mercy.
Ooh.
Yeah, you absolutely remember the sandworm, and you have to keep your.
I should not have suggested that, but dear God, we're going to roll with it.
You have to, like, as you traveled as a clan, and scouting parties would spread out, so they weren't all clustered, making a lot of noise with their feet and with their movement. But you never actually seen a sandworm, so.
Never dead the worm.
Yeah.
Yes, so I think we should spread out as we travel through.
Never
Close
done the
enough
worm.
that we're in signaling distance, but far enough away so that sandworm can't hear us. Yes, there are legends in my culture of those who can ride the sandworm, but it hasn't been going on within my lifetime. Everything is just children's stories, but hey, you never know.
All right, so you guys just gonna go straight on, or what's going on?
Let's go!
Yep. As far as I believe the plan from last week, we were going to hit Amkunar's clans, pick up, like, rally whatever sort of survivors we could, and we were going to head, I believe, to the Blue Scale Shoals and get down to business with the Blue Dragonborn, who we think might be harboring one of the dragons, or aiding in some capacity one of the dragons that we seek to kill.
Yes.
Onward!
Okay. So as the rest of the group follows in silence, you all begin working into the eastern sands. The mountains begin coming into view as you travel. The first 2 or 3 hours, you begin to see the mountains erupting from the distant horizon, every now and then being washed away by a dusty windstorm.
Ooh.
And you begin moving towards the northwest, where the 4 tribes of Amkunar's clans reside, or where Gesh remembers them.
I turn my attention like Gesh got like a turban or something on.
Back.
I don't have any camels, otherwise this image would be perfect.
So you all travel. It was about 10 in the morning or so when you left. It's about just under 2 days' journey to your clan's settlement, Gesh, that you remember. And you all travel for the first, I guess it'd be 9 hours. Or, yeah, no, 8 hours. So 8 hours after you start journey, you get to the first night as the sun begins setting behind you. You have now just entered into the desert, leaving behind you most of the green land The terrain before you seems to now be made of mostly rocky outcroppings as you approach closer to the mountains, and just cracked, dry earth and mounds of sand and dust.
Ah, home sweet home. About time we came back here. So, I'm gonna guess, like, more, like, this is me talking out of character though, but we'll probably end up posting up, like, underneath one of the rocks there, like cover from the wind there. I don't know where we'd get fire, if anything. One of the casters could probably cast, like, fire spells on the rest of the party, just to keep them warm.
Absolutely knows a thing about fire.
I know a lot about fire. What do you want to know?
Still hit biologicals in your need for warmth.
Ooh, I like this. I dig this.
Watch, I'll just crank up his internal thermostat and just space heater for everybody.
And Watcher, you as you like start to think about your inner workings, you realize that you have sand beginning to build up in your crevices.
And
Careful, that'll clog your CPU.
CPU.
Mostly an
Oh,
annoyance,
shit
not
on
doing
Koi,
any
'cause
damage.
Now who's laughing?
User
We have
joined
no
your
ass
channel.
crack to fucking get sand in.
Yeah, ass crack sand. So what are we doing? I guess we're just setting up camp for the first time.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Alright, so you guys just sleep through the night?
no.
I can't think of
Yeah.
anything that I necessarily need to prepare. Yeah. Well, I don't have my token. Never mind.
Yeah, I probably was gonna make sure my crossbow was all like nice and loaded just in case.
Are
I'm
you
gonna sleep
sure
with it.
you're in the right state of mind? You could mentally prepare.
Solely biologicals your need for sleep.
So how large are these like little pillars of stone? Also, it's kind of crazy. They look like trees. Like they look like ancient trees.
Ooh, I dig that.
There are at least 5.
Now, this is just a piece of concept art, so it's not necessarily a direct reflection of your surroundings. But yes, there are like big chunks of rock and stuff that kind of tears out the earth. Most of it's like at its height is 30 feet.
There we go.
But
Scale drawing.
most of it is flat desert. This is just like a view of a desert and rocks and mountainous terrain, which is kind of what you guys are moving into.
Well, Golbore is going to try to spend his evening up at the top of one of these, and he'll probably try to pull Watcher along with him to operate as our surveillance.
Watcher's gonna watch.
He's gonna watch the shit out of everything.
For whatever reason, I like to imagine like some kind of like arcane like contraption like attached to Watcher's face has like pulled down binoculars or something.
So, so Golbore, you're gonna stay up for a little bit and then sleep up there.
Yeah.
While
I'm
Watcher.
just gonna climb up there with Watcher and Brokeback Mountain the shit out of him.
Uh-huh.
Heyo.
No, I'm gonna climb up there and probably pretty cozy up in those high places.
Watcher prepares his love port.
Standard action.
All right. All right. So the night rolls on. Golbore and Watcher, give me perception checks.
Oh, you always tell me that I never remember that.
I do the same thing.
Crap, I can't delete this.
15.
Perception. I'm still looking for it. Where the fuck is it?
It's on your character sheet.
Well, no
There we
shit. Oh, 0. Okay.
For somebody who's literally spent thousands of years watching things, you're not very perceptive of your surroundings.
He has been well maintained. Let's just say that.
Battery's outdated.
He needs to update his BIOS.
He's
Alright.
old, not obsolete.
Technically, he was outdated, which is why he got the job at the vault.
There we go.
That was
That
what?
was- He's
Sand in your
outdated.
pockets.
was like 10,000 years ago, right? So even,
Hmm.
you're even more outdated now.
It's like the D&D equivalent of Walmart greeter.
Yeah, but see, I'm one of the last of my kind because they stopped making it after that. So technically, I'm the highest representation of the technology.
Oh boy.
It's true.
So you're the laser disc of the family.
Yeah.
Nobody uses it, but it's out
No,
there.
see, like I'm the Commodore 64 that was sitting in like Grandpa's basement when the EMP hit, so it wasn't affected. Sure, there was better stuff, but it doesn't work now.
I still have a
Fair.
Commodore 64.
That's fair. So what did we see and or not see, sir?
For the most part, your watch goes uneventful. Golbore, you with your miles of vision, you just see more and more expanse. You can see the mountains a little more clearly than the rest of the people here, but again, it just looks like rocky desert terrain, and the night goes by uneventfully. Watcher, give me one more perception check before the sun begins to rise in the east.
I don't see shit.
It's a bright sun.
Watcher goes to look off the side of the cliff and just tumbles.
We should comb the desert. I don't see shit, sir. We haven't found shit.
So just before sunrise, as the sky begins to turn this pink and purple and gold hue, a big gust of dusty air blows by Watcher and kind of messes with your instruments, your optical instruments. And but as you clear your sight, the sun breaks across the eastern horizon, and you're
Ah, my eyes!
just leaving behind the vision of the sea. And the rest of you wake up, and morning has set upon you.
Oh no, not your visual sensors.
We need those.
Watcher's garbage chute is clogged with sand. I guess carry on. I guess we're carrying on then, yeah.
Keep on keeping
Okay.
on.
And
So-
I would walk 500 miles.
Where's Dino?
So we're gonna keep on moving.
Yeah. So another. Let's see. It's sunrise, so you guys start moving around 6 in the morning. About 8 hours
Ooh.
later. About 8 hours later, Gesh, you get to a small body of water that you recognize as being just outside of the tribal territory, right? And you have a choice. You can go towards the mountains around it, or you could go towards Lake Rhina.
What I understand is that didn't Gesh was stationed at the lake there?
Actually,
Do we agree upon
your tribe was on the west,
that?
closest.
Oh yeah,
to
I
the
know,
mountains.
but we didn't agree on that? Okay, so then west then.
Okay, so you'll go around the small little pond towards the mountains.
I suggest that we load up on water here and then head west to my tribe's territory. If there's anything left.
Turns out the
More
west side of the pond is
boating?
sentient, and it crushes us, and we all die.
Yay! End of campaign. Good night, guys.
I don't want to go back on a boat. Last time
What?
we were on a boat, we got wrecked by some flying dealies.
What does a boat
You
have
got
to do with
wrecked.
mountains?
We're not getting on a boat.
Oh, I thought we were going over the lake or whatever.
That doesn't mean we're gonna get on a boat. What are you talking
I
about?
We're going
I
in the
don't-
exact opposite direction of the
I'm
lake.
still drunk,
Is-
alright?
Is Jackson
Leave me alone.
asleep?
I'm having a hangover.
Have your sense of direction been added too? Have you been dropped on your? Yeah, have you been dropped as an egg? Is my question.
No,
We
because
dropped
we
as
shook
an
him up
egg.
earlier.
Guys,
I just have
we're
a
playing
hammering
a
headache.
tabletop RPG. It's called Dungeons and Dragons. You're all in a world, and you're all in a desert right now. It's happening.
Wait, we're having dessert
hallucinating.
right now? Holy crap! What are we having?
Ace, can I use that special power that you gave me to make sure that we get through this campaign okay? just through the night.
So what do we
what?
got, Ace?
Even that power is out of your reach.
No.
So Gesh, remembering that his plan settled in the west towards the mountains, will steer you towards the mountains around the pond. You guys fill up your water skins and everything, staying hydrated for the most part, and you all are running a little bit low on rations. But I mean, you've got another day and a half or so of rations, so you're okay for now. Gesh, you do remember you will pass the southern clan first. So if you'll recall, all 4 clans are not too far apart. They're probably just a few hours
after
apart.
shit went down.
Yeah. So most of them are a few hours of travel. You know, maybe like a 2.5-hour walk to the next clan.
Perfect.
But during seasons of blood, that 2-hour walk, you know, shortened quite a bit, depending on what was going on. But so you know that you will see the southern clan first.
Gotcha.
Which you'll recall is the Wanai clan.
So I'm probably definitely going to relay that to party.
Okay.
So is the Southern Clan friendly or non-friendly?
Well, depends. I mean, I could generally consider them to just be fucking sneaky gits, but I mean, situations like this where we off the band together, we like family. That's how our culture is. We fight and then we feast.
So you're Irish.
Okay.
Yes, basically.
So you travel another few hours past the this body of water, and who is in front, leading the way?
Golbore!
Probably Big G. Big
Okay,
G
so-
or little G. So it's either Golbore or Gesh.
Okay, Golbore and Gesh, I imagine you two are walking together. Give me perception checks.
What can I see? Holy crap! Why am I not Watcher?
Are you gonna make us fight the Jinn? Ace.
Huh?
You're gonna make us fight the Jinn?
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, can I have a magic lamp? Can the genie inside be voiced by Robin
No.
Williams?
No, he's dead.
Exactly.
Those are traditionally bad spirits, and basically sand elementals in D&D. They're bad news, man. Bad news.
All right. So Gesh, you kind of like tap Golbore on the chest, and you point out what you're beginning to see as you're walking. The ground is almost most of the rocky terrain is now off to your left, 100 or 200 yards, and you're just on flat, dry earth. And a group of boulders and jutting rocks kind of reach out a little bit, kind of like a finger. And at the tip, you see a trail of what can only be described as bones, dried and long dead carcasses.
Oh dear God, they dragonoid.
Well, you can walk up to one, so like it looks like they're scattered about, right?
Mhm.
So it's like a littering of these long dead, dried out carcasses, exposed bone. There's no meat or gore or anything, but you can walk up and investigate them. If you want to give me an investigation check.
I investigate. I'm probably gonna figure out the chicken bones.
Can I investigate too?
I thought I was going to say I was going to walk up and look at the bones too.
My
What
God,
bones?
we
Watcher's
found
just
a
gonna
civilization
survey
of
the
skeletons.
landscape.
Hey, look, I noticed
Okay.
that they're bones.
Well, so as you walk over there, it doesn't look dragonoid at all, Gesh. And Havilar, you come to the same conclusion. They don't look like dragonborn. They look mainly like creatures. And Ira, you walk up and take a closer look, and they look like they've been dry rotted out in the sun, and they're like if you can imagine like a rhino or something being laid out on its side. It looks like the rib cage has been broken open. So most of the ribs are broken off, and the rest of the skeletal structure kind of trails off into the sand. And as dust and sand blow in front of you, Gesh, with your perception check earlier, you look up and you see that most of the littering of bones and carcasses leads and revolves around what looks like how can I describe this? A bulbous sand and gravel and rocky structure that is perforated with holes all around it.
I think, party, we should go up and investigate that.
Party agrees.
Or does it?
And
I
Gesh
don't
then
know.
abides.
It's
Man.
kinda spooky.
I saw this on Star Wars once already. It's gonna be like bugs and shit in there.
It's gonna be like eggs from like Alien, and they're all just gonna be like face huggers everywhere.
Didn't you guys ever watch the show?
Was
There'd
that
be like
was that
1,000 more of them.
Was that a Galaxy Quest reference?
That was indeed.
Hell yeah, that's my favorite comedy all time.
I'd like to remind the party that we're kind of short on rations.
All right,
No, we
so
don't have
Silly
time.
pilot. Watcher's just gonna snicker.
I mean, we can always eat the elf.
Yeah, but he's just going to be high on mushrooms.
all right, so what's happening? GS, you said you were walking forward.
I guess
Yeah,
we're going to the building.
I had to
Like there
AFK
was
for a
something
second, so I
bad in
just
Mississippi.
Yeah, we're probably gonna at least Gesh wants to call up first, see if they get a response, and if not, they're gonna move up. Like, oh, anyone home?
Your voice carries and echoes to the west as it bounces off the rocks and into the mountains.
Correct.
But rock. But no, you don't see anything going on.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna move up then.
And Golbore, as you guys kind of walk up to, are you walking up to the structure?
I mean, I presume so. I had to AFK for a second, so I'm just supporting my group emotionally.
Okay. Yeah. So Golbore, your keen eyes. Which did you roll a perception check? No, roll one.
Hold on.
As you guys are walking up to this gravelly sand rock structure.
Ugh, garbage all around.
Yeah, we're super perceptive.
Yeah, it looks interesting, but it looks pretty safe.
Could
It
you
looks pretty safe.
could you pull my perception from the night before? No, I'm getting like sand in my eyes and shit, and I'm just not feeling it. The eagles recede into my eye.
Yeah, I was gonna say they crawl back in your eyes and like nest in there, and they're like they're like clawing at you every trying to lure them out.
No,
And
they
you guys
Get
are
that
about
checked out.
50 feet away at this point when you see a Gesh. You see, because you're leading the way, a flicker of movement in the rocky structure in one of those perforated holes.
Hold up, I saw something. Anyone volunteers to check it out?
Golbore, you're the biggest one here. Go after him.
Golbore will shrug and pull his axe and head towards gestured area.
All right. As you move forward, the sandy wind is whipping around you, tossing your loincloth here and there.
Oh man,
you
what a
feel
show.
the gravelly texture kind of scratching your skin as you walk forward, gripping your axe. The rest of the party kind of staring past you and through the sand, covering their eyes. As you walk closer to the structure, you're about 25 feet away or so. You can see that the rocky circular dome is about 15 feet in diameter, and all of these holes are kind of punched into it. And as you get closer, that flicker of movement happens again, and you see a couple spindly legs crawl out of the hole of one of them, and wings kind of flicker and twitch behind this. What you can now see is this giant wasp-looking creature, and it's its body is orange with thick yellow stripes, and its eyes are big black balls, like all over the top of the head, and they have little orange dots inside of them.
Draco, what were you saying about not having food now?
As you see it crawl out, you hear a as again more flickering of movement happens as about a dozen other of these wasps crawl out quickly from these holes and take flight directly at you. The first thing you see are their giant stingers that are about probably 1.5 feet long. As these things take flight towards you, I need everyone to roll initiative.
Those are not scarabs.
I'm staring at the sand.
So, as an action leading into my initiative, Golbore is going to pick up his axe and swing it full force through the cloud of wasps swarming him, and just yell, "God
Like
damn
this.
it, Thor!"
What? I didn't even do anything.
No, that's the point where you go, "Who's Thor?" Because Thor's not in this universe.
What's a Thor?
I don't have my
11.
token.
Wow!
Yeah, there's no battle map if that's
Okay.
cool with you guys.
Yeah, I got it.
Look.
We're just dying.
We
today,
rolled a
guys.
5.
Who's
There's a
we?
tie. There's a tie.
Always a tie.
Another
Always.
Yeah, you and I tied. So Watcher and Ira are just like playing grab ass at the back of the line. I guess.
Oh, senpai.
All right. Who got 25 to 20?
Heyo.
Me.
Geshy poo.
Tickle fight.
I got
Struggle,
28.
snuggle.
Yesh got 23.
Trying to find where
Right.
our Watcher
You
is
said
ticklish.
Irwen got 20.
Yeah.
So Gesh, Irwen. Okay. 20 to 15.
Hello.
All
I got a
right.
17.
Draco.
Golbore got a 15.
5.
Hey, I don't mean to burst your bubble, Bobert.
Golbore got a
think-
15.
I don't think you
No, I
rolled
got
a
a 19.
d20.
Yeah, I did.
Golbore
yeah,
got a
19.
19.
Just rolled
No, you
it.
didn't. You just rolled a 20.
Oh, what the hell?
You just did a 20 plus 3. There's.
My
You gotta,
bad.
You gotta do a d20.
14, there we go.
Not just straight up 20.
Shit.
Okay. So I'm gonna start this over. Come on, guys. This is just, what did you
How
roll?
to D&D?
5.
Okay, Irwin's first with a 20. Okay, who got 19 to 15?
Golbore got a
Hello.
19.
All right,
I
so
got a
Golbore.
17.
All right, Draco is 17. All right, 14 to 10.
Yesh got 14.
Hey. Havilar got 11.
Okay. All right, 10 to 5 or 9 to 5.
5.
Aye.
All right, who wants to go first? Watch your Ira.
I'll go first because
Watcher.
Ira's terrible and misses everything.
You just kill allies.
Watcher would go first because he rolled a natural 5. Ira rolled a 3 plus 2 modifier.
Thanks, Jackson. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, Irwin, you're up first.
So how many
Irwin,
are
you
there?
see about a dozen of these gigantic wasp creatures lift out of this bulbous dome of sand and gravel and take off straight towards Golbore, who's at the front of the pack. And you have a clear sight on most of them.
Alright, I want to do my signature fireball.
Okay.
Can I aim for all of them? Like, are they close enough?
What's the range? What's the area of effect on the fireball? How many
I
feet?
think it's 20 radius.
Okay. So let's see, 20 radius. You could probably get half of them, so you could get about 6. And dexterity saving throw, right?
So, just to be sure, like, are they more in a circle shape or more like in a line shape?
Oh, they're like, I mean, they're crazy wasps. You know how wasps fly around? They're like
Yeah.
all scattered. They're like come out of this hive and have just taken flight off. Like they're not in a straight line towards Golbore. No, they're all flying off. But you see the swarm itself is probably directing itself towards Golbore.
Hot.
Right, I'm gonna target most of them then.
Okay. What's the DC?
I think it was 17. Yeah, 17.
Alright, 2 succeed and 4 fail. Roll that damage.
Hey Ace, I think this is what you're looking for, or what you're trying to describe. Am I correct? Kind of like this.
Nice. Yes. It's actually really close to what that looks like.
Yeah.
Good find.
I found
Nice,
this
nice
off
little
of like
pieces.
Avatar: The Last Airbender. If y'all remember
Alright,
the
so,
desert scene.
Is it half damage on a success?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the fireball just explodes, sending sand and gravel flying, and you just see this. All 6 of those wasps just go basically obliterated by the flame, and you see little bit of legs and parts of the wasps come flying off. About 8 more wasps remain.
Who wants some wasp barbecue?
Golbore, you're up next.
Golbore's up next.
Kill most of them.
Golbore's impressed. Yeah, I guess Golbore's going to do his best to. I mean, he's not really specialized in this kind of thing, so I guess he's just going to swing that axe full tilt, reckless style, at the closest one to him.
All right, so the closest one's probably about 10 feet away at this point, or probably about 15 feet because you're about 20 feet from the hive. So you'd have to like run up into like the middle of them, but
Okay.
or I mean, you could reach one on the fringes. I mean, it's just you're basically swarming around you. Imagine like a semicircle around you, and then they're going to target you essentially. So.
Okay. Well, I'm going full bear, Golbore here, and yeah, I'll just head towards the wasps, and I'm gonna try to catch the closest one to me for the time being, and I'm gonna yell out to the group to burn the hive.
All right. So
Isn't
you take
it-
off towards one of the wasps. Roll to hit.
25.
Yeah, you slice one of the wasps directly in half at its lower abdomen, and it just falls down to the ground. There's about 2 more within about 5 to 8 feet of you.
So I've got Great Weapon Master, so I get to do it again.
Okay.
30 for 20.
Yeah, and this one just gets obliterated into dust as you smash it with the axe, like right into the center of its body.
Yeah.
Havilar would like to cheer on Golbore. Just like way in
Golbore's
the
got
back.
that like spit flinging out of his mouth, like rah!
That's hot.
Woo, Golbore! Woo!
Is that all from Golbore?
I believe that's all from Golbore.
All right. The one remaining wasp in that little trio that you kind of got near is you see from the stinger now. You see this kind of pussy ooze that's coming out from the base of the abdomen where the stinger meets.
Is it
And it's just
mind
kind of-
control ooze?
No, no, don't worry. But it's dripping onto the stinger, and the wasp juts its lower abdomen forward, attempting to sting you. And
As it goes to sting me with advantage, by the way, because that was a reckless attack.
thank you.
Yes. I'm just gonna scream, I'm a bear!
All right. 14 plus 4. Does 18 hit?
Yeah, anything over 14 hits.
All right. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw as this pussy stinger gets shoved into your chest.
Oh no, Golbore's
Yeah,
gonna
he's
get
gonna get
paralyzed
Oh,
now.
rip Golbore, dude.
2 3s, god damn. I don't think I
Come
have
on,
anything for
girls.
Constitution.
Wait, you rolled an 11?
Yes.
For both of them.
Okay, so you feel this. How can I describe this? So as the stinger gets shoved into you up to the base of the abdomen, it kind of its wings fluttering about as you feel this globular. It's like a solid gelatin-like feeling get injected into your low, like underneath your pec, right there in like that fatty meat. And as the stinger lurches back out from your body, you see that the stinger is missing, and there's just an orifice there that's just dripping pus. And you can look down at your chest, and there's now this bulge directly under your pec muscle.
Oh, Golbore, rip.
Yeah. So at the wrap of this, I'm just gonna scream, "Ah! I'm pregnant!"
Oh, we gotta get that out of you.
And as you
Quick,
look around
Havilar, suck it
Golbore,
out.
it doesn't look
no.
like all of the stingers are dripping like that. But the
Oh,
wasp
I got the
seems to
one
be...
with chlamydia. I got the one wasp with chlamydia.
It's not the only one, but yeah. So the wasp now seems to be flailing in death throes. It is now Draco's turn.
So what's left? Just more wasps?
Yeah, there's 6 wasps left out of the hive.
Okay.
One just stabbed Golbore in the chest with a stinger.
And looks to be as if it's dying.
Then I am going to do a thing. I'm going to cast poison spray twice at 2 of the wasps near me.
Okay, you're about 50 feet away.
50 feet?
Well, I mean, I didn't hear anyone say they were, like, following Golbore up closely. I assumed you guys were kind of keeping your distance. And
Yeah, Golbore went up ahead.
From the hive, you're probably about 50 feet, as the wasps haven't really moved yet.
Okay, then I will...
Apart from just exploding from the hive, you know?
Okay. And I'm assuming they're bigger than normal wasps.
Yeah, they're probably about 3 feet in length.
So I can hit one with my bow then.
Yeah, you could try.
Then I
Well,
will
I mean-
run.
It is you, so.
Shut up. I will run 30 feet closer.
Okay.
I will mark one with my hunter's mark.
Okay.
And I will make 2 ranged attacks against one of them as I fire 2 arrows in quick succession.
At your hunter's mark?
Yes.
Okay. You let loose 2 arrows. Roll your attack.
Pew pew.
All right. They both hit. So roll your damage. And this was all in the same wasp, right?
Yeah.
I
so-
think he killed it with the first one.
Yeah. Well, it was your second arrow that was the killing blow, but I mean it just obliterates. The first arrow goes into its lower abdomen, just above the stinger, kind of sends it reeling in flight. The second arrow pierces right through the many eyes on top of its head as it falls dead onto the ground.
Nice.
All right, Gesh.
Okay, so, but how far away would you say I am from this?
50 feet.
Oh,
50 feet,
Ace,
alright.
Yep,
really quick.
just about.
Real quick, are these categorized as beasts?
Yes.
Then they are my favorite enemy as well.
Nice.
So, what Gesh is going to do is, upon hearing, I think it was Golbore screaming, "Burn the hive," I am going to like pick up like a rock, cast firebolt, and chuck it like it's like a hand grenade.
Okay.
And then with that, I want to use Quicken Spell, which, yeah, it's 2 sorcery points, but I can cast a spell and attack something.
It also balances your books at the same time.
Yes.
Isn't this like structure made of solid rock? How do you burn rock?
It's like sand, gravel, and rock. Yeah, like a like a wasp nest.
How do you burn that?
Oh, what attack are you
Very
using?
carefully.
Firebolt.
Okay. Firebolt's not necessarily a burning thing. Like, it could maybe light some, very tinder for a campfire.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, it would just be like, pew! And like a laser.
Like a laser beam,
Essentially.
yeah.
Yeah, basically, I'm taking a few Okay, yeah, that works out like that. Because I'm trying to aim for like one of the holes. You know?
Aren't we
Yeah,
all,
so you-
brother?
So you would just be like basically shooting a laser into the hole.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And then it says to make a normal attack with this, I have to do a ranged spell attack. Do I do that with? So I'm aiming at an object.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can make an attack.
Oh, that's plus 20. What the hell am I? Oh.
Sorry, it's not too hard to hit. So you take a couple steps forward and you blast off your firebolt, sending it careening into this nest hole, and you see a chunk of it kind of blast off the top,
And then
and that hole kind of caves in on itself.
and using the rest of my movement, I want to turn, book closer down towards the party, and then, like expending my movement, I want to turn around, like put my shield on the ground, like do you ever see like, those pave shields where they mount them on the ground, like hide behind it?
Yes.
I want to
Oh,
do that, and then just pop a shot off with my crossbow at one of them.
So you're gonna be total-less.
What was that?
Nothing.
All right, roll to hit.
Oh wow.
You missed.
All
It's the
right.
opposite day. 20s are botches.
Okay, so that's 1d8. And I roll 2 dice then?
Yep, 2 dice, add your modifier. So 5, and then roll another d8.
Wow, that
6
balances
damage to
out.
one of them.
All right, so the
Top-notch.
bolt goes straight through one of the wings of the wasp, and you see it kind of lose its balance, but it is still flying
Oh boy.
and buzzing. Havilar, you're up.
Alright, I'm gonna pull out one of my hand axes. I'm gonna run 30 feet and then chuck it at one of them.
Okay, roll to hit.
Alright, cool.
You send your axe flying through the air.
Skadoosh.
Hey, Yahtzee.
And it cleaves into the side of a wasp. Roll your damage.
Hey, look at that.
And so Havilar, your axe goes straight into the side of the wasp that is now flailing about in flight from Gesh's crossbow bolt, and splits its chitinous body directly in half, and it falls dead.
Another one. I'll throw another one.
Okay. Aiming for another wasp, you the axe goes flying and hits the dust in the sand, not making an impact.
Oh, alright, cool. I
Watcher?
guess that's it.
So there's 3 wasps still left up, right?
4. Yep.
4. Okay. I am going to attempt my new spell that I picked up.
Okay.
Called Scorching Ray, I believe. Yeah, Scorching Ray. So I get 3 rays that I can do 2d6 fire damage each. So I'm gonna pick 3 different targets and try to blast them.
All right. 3 different targets. Okay. See if that 15 hits. Yeah, they all hit.
Okay.
Nice. Roll that 2d6 each.
And that's fire
9.
damage if it makes a difference.
9, 9, 6. All right. So, Watcher, you're. So, what are you using to cast this from? Is it your sword?
Finger guns. Yes.
All right. So you point a finger, and this arcane surge from your chest moves up your arm and into your hand, blasting 3 separate rays out, kind of like anime style, like rockets anime style, smashing into 3 wasps, all but cindering their bodies. the two at the top, the first two that were hit are hardly staying in flight. The third one looks it's damaged, but not as badly. Those first two are hardly in flight. Anything else?
No.
Ira.
Okay. I am going to flame strike the whatchamacallit? The hive.
Okay.
You said I'm about 50 feet away. How far is the nest from it? Is it 50?
50 feet.
Alright. I'm just outside the range. Or just inside, sorry. So, I guess deck save is 16.
So it fails. This is a structure.
Oh, okay.
So
let's say a 40-foot tall column by a 10-foot radius.
The structure cannily dodges out of the way.
Dude, some game systems would actually have that happen, like on a certain roll.
No thanks.
Has anyone ever seen like XCOM screenshots?
Oh yeah.
Where like they have the gun pointed right at their face and it's like 60% chance of hitting.
Or have you ever seen like the XCOM ones where it's like 100% chance of hitting and then it misses? Have you seen that one?
That's the best.
Nope.
That's part of the reason why I never used VATS in Fallout.
Alright, so a column of radiant flame comes from the sky as your holy symbol burns bright with the power of Pelor and crashes into the hive, sending dust and sand and chunks of this packed gravel flying as the dust settles. The hive itself seems to be completely smashed in, like a hammer, like just from God just destroyed it. And you see one and then two wasps come flying out of the crushed hive, and you see them kind of burn like the end of a frayed string as the radiant flame catches them on their way out of the hive, dead, and the hive destroyed.
Nice.
I want to move about 15 feet closer to Golbore.
Okay. All right. The last four remaining wasps, 3 of them hardly standing, come swarming towards. Let's see. 2 are going to go towards. Let's see. Gesh ran away, so towards Ira. So 2 are going towards Ira. 2 are going towards Absolutely, who I think is the other closest.
Oh no.
And they are going to make sting attacks.
I ran a
Golbore,
full 30 feet.
Towards them.
Yeah.
Okay, then thank
That's
you.
that's how I threw my hand axe. Cause
Yeah, so they're
I was
going after
running
you
at,
instead.
Yeah. I'd rather
Golbore,
take damage than Ira.
the first 2 wasps come flying towards you, and you swing your great axe out towards them, and they kind of back away without being able to get an attack in. The 2 going towards Havilar, does a 18 plus 4, 19, 20, 21, 22? Does a 22 hit you, Havilar?
Yeah, anything above like 18 hits me.
Okay, make a Constitution saving throw as the stinger goes. It's so sharp that it goes into your underarm, like kind of ripping through half the armor. Breaking scale.
Breaking scale, bruh. Bruh, what are these rolls?
And this one, you feel a surge of pain as the poison from the stinger gets injected into you. You take 10 points of poison damage and 6 points of piercing damage, so 16 damage. And the second stinger comes in and hits you in on the other side, breaking through your armor. Go ahead and make another Constitution saving throw.
Okay. That should work.
This time, the poison injecting out of the stinger, it actually didn't break through your scales. So you take 5 piercing damage, but the poison gets basically just squeezed out into your armor, and it feels kind of gross. Irwen, back to you.
I'm still alive.
There are 4 remaining. They've kind of split off, so there's 2 on Golbore, 2 on Havilar.
And how close of each other are they?
From you, they're about 25 feet or so. But apart, they're probably about 30 feet apart.
Okay, I'll just use another fireball.
All right. Which one are you aiming for? Golbore's wasps or Havilar's?
I think it should be fine for all 4. It's a 40.
40-foot diameter. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah. Roll your damage. So they're gonna make their saves. They probably won't help them.
I love how casually Krunch throws like an earth sundering fireball. I guess I'll throw a fireball.
All right. So let me see. This is the only wasp that's not hurt yet. Rolls a 17. Is that enough?
I have 17.
Okay. So 3 of the wasps just get incinerated. One kind of remains barely flying in place. You see its wings are kind of like actually on fire. It's one on Havilar. The one that was kind of, his stinger was still stuck into him. To her.
They're not resistant to fire, right?
No, if the fire hurts really bad. They definitely die. Golbore.
Yes, sir.
There's an eruption of flame as Irwen does her controlling of fire as it wraps around you and incinerates the wasp attacking you. Only 1 wasp remains as the fire and smoke clears, and it is attacking Havilar.
Relatively close to me?
30 feet.
Yeah, I'll close that gap easily and take a swing. I'll take another reckless.
All right, let her rip.
Oh, I was on the wrong tab. Go. 28 for 16.
And with a skill and mastery of the axe, your swing is powerful and swift as you chop the wasp's the lower half of its body still stuck in the armor of Havilar. The rest of it cleaves to the ground.
I'm gonna have like a little flourish into that swing, like a little twirl, and just like a clean in half.
Golbore missed his true calling. He really should have gotten a contract with the Blackwalk Blue Sox. Oh yeah, then we burned it down though. Never mind.
What do you mean we? I burned it down.
Seemingly, there doesn't seem to be any more wasps as the sound is of your heavy breathing and the whipping winds of the desert.
How far along am I in my pregnancy now?
As you look down to investigate your wound, you can feel several small lumps all clumped together beneath your breast.
Mm-hmm.
And you feel this lurching pain, like kind of this sharp pain, like a stitch in your side.
Lumpy breasts are actually a sign of cancer. You may want to get that.
But other than that, I mean, it just
cut it
feels
open.
very weird.
I'm
Cut it open.
gonna motion to Ira that I need this cut out of me and I need to be treated. I don't trust any insect having their way with me.
Hey,
Don't you wanna
I need
sterilize
some
it?
help too. There's like a giant stinger pumping venom into my side. Can you fix that too?
You can just pull it out, Havilar. It's not actually in your body. It was stuck in your armor.
Okay.
I want to go to
I
Golbore.
can fix Golbore.
What? Whatever.
Golbore's gonna gesture like, all right, come on, somebody.
I'll fix him with my firebolt.
There's a medical to see if I can fix it and then go about doing it.
Ira, it seems like the stinger reached pretty far. It's definitely not a like an epidermis kind of incision. You would have to go in It seems to be very below the skin and into his chest cavity.
Golbore's body is ready.
It would not be an easy surgery.
Would you consider this an affliction or a disease?
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know the definitions in Dungeons and Dragons of those. One sec.
Seems like it would be both.
How could you? I thought you were a man of God. I thought, Paylor was against abortion. Especially in insect babies.
It's heavy.
Hang on one sec. Just checking the DMG
Condition.
real quick.
Sorry, condition, not affliction.
Condition? I mean, this is a condition, yes.
Okay, well,
Sure.
then if it's Lester Restoration is the one I'm wanting to do.
Okay, let me see.
It's a skin condition.
I believe my necrotizing face was a skin condition.
Okay. So the spell says the condition can be blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned, and none of those apply. But
Impregnated,
you
I
can
don't
still
think there's a spell for that.
you can still try it though,
Just cut it open.
since you are unsure of kind of what's going on.
Just cut it open. Cut it out.
I guess what I could do is I could place a death ward on him, and then go in. Because with the death ward, he can't die.
Oh, Golbore's ready. He's like, yeah.
Are you
got some
sure you want
adrenaline
to do
going.
this out in the hot sun? I mean, it'd be really shitty if sand got in there.
He's saying do it, so I'm going to do place the death ward. See, he can't drop below 1 HP, and then I'm going to go in and do it.
Golbore's hyped.
What, are we just gonna give him like a piece of wood or something just to chop on?
Golbore's gonna grab Gesh's hand and just bite down on his finger.
I mean, I can electrocute you. That worked, right?
Okay. So tell me what your plan is. Tell me what you want to do.
I'm going to put a death ward on him, just in case. That just means he can't drop below 1 hit point. And then I'm gonna, I guess, pull out my hook dagger and
Oh my God!
attempt to cut out the things.
You're trying to amputate a cyst, not fucking gut him like a fish.
No, it's a dagger with a hook on the end of it, on the other side.
Oh, on
Like
the
a
other
fish
side.
hook.
Okay, I gotcha.
All right. So give me a so as you lay Golbore down, kind of in the shade of these rocks, on the other side of this hive. Everyone standing around watching, I suppose. You lay your hands on him, and your holy symbol illuminates as the energy passes into your hands, and you see the energy kind of wrap itself all over Golbore, and there's this kind of aura and glow about him, a very faint one, but it is there indeed.
Confirmed
And,
pregnant.
It's
Glass
lime
pig.
blue.
As he lies on the ground before you, and you pull out your dagger, I need you to make a medicine check.
Can I make a competing Constitution save?
Can I really quick?
Hang on,
pull...
not yet. What'd you say, Jackson?
Can I really quick pull out a hand axe just in case something pops out that's alive out of Golbore, in case he has a baby or something?
In case I get a burster, just
Yeah.
Freaking alien up in here.
Yeah.
Ira, you make an incision along the just under the left breast of Golbore. It's about 4 inches in length, and the dagger cuts very deep. And I need you to roll 1d4 for damage on Golbore.
I knew it was going to be max.
Golbore, make a Constitution saving throw.
oh yeah.
Come on, Golbore, you got to pull through. Ooh.
All right. The incision stings pretty bad, but it's not the worst you've ever felt, and you grit your teeth and bear it. Ira, the skin has been opened.
Golbore's sacking up right now.
You see as you kind of move the skin around, you see the muscle and tissue beneath the skin. You see the puncture. It's about an inch in diameter, and you see the muscle and tissue beneath the skin is bulging. And you can definitely tell there are several sacs in this bulge.
I want to say something like, "Man, you have some sacs in you."
That sounds pretty sexy.
No time for jokes. This is a serious medical seizure.
Ira heals with laughter.
He's been impregnated.
Could be worse. Could be dead.
What do you do, Ira?
I'm still trying to get the things out. I guess got him out, assuming I can see him and reach him.
All right. You feel they're about a few inches beneath the muscle and tissue. So you have to cut through that as well. I mean, or you can tell me some other way, but if you just want to cut through that, you can.
Just poke him with a stick.
I guess I can, heal it. So I'll just. I want to look for another way first, to make sure there's not an easier way to get around it. Then, no option, cut through the muscle.
All right, give me another medicine check. All right. You think there would probably be two ways with this. You can either work through the puncture wound from the stinger and try to do it without directly seeing the sacs or these bulges, or you can cut through the tissue and muscle and make it, it'll be easier to deal with, but it will probably cause Golbore a little more pain.
Well, I asked Golbore which he would prefer, because, pain or easy.
Golbore's going to furrow his brow at him, as if there's a question.
Okay, I guess I'll cut through the muscle.
All right. You drag the dagger across the muscle, it kind of jumping
for real
with
though.
the thickness.
For real though, Golbore will grab something to bite down on in this case.
He's gonna take a step back and make sure his tail is not, anywhere near.
Golbore, you feel the knife blade begin to kind of bounce in your muscle as it's cutting through the thickness of it. Like even pulling your muscle from up near your collarbone, you can feel it tugging. And there's this sharp, burning pain in your chest. Ira, I need you to make another. Is it D4? Yeah, D4, and then make it 2D4 for this one.
This is so gross.
And Golbore, right. Make a Constitution saving throw.
26.
All right, Golbore, you feel your mind. You basically try to black out, but you grit your teeth again and kind of use the rage of your frustration and anger to fight back the pain and the unconsciousness. Ira, you have cut through the muscle. You take 7 damage, Golbore.
I'm imagining, since you specifically use the word rage, that I'm biting down on this stick and you can hear my jaw pop as it kind of slowly extends a little bit, as I'm pretty furiously Argh!
Yeah, and Ira, as you peel back the muscle and open it up, you can now see 4. They're about the size of one of them's the size of a fist, and the other 3 are a little bit smaller than that, and they're all bunched up right on top of his rib bone. You can see the meat and stuff on top of his rib bone, and then these things have kind of latched themselves to them with these veiny-like vines that come out from the outsides of their gooey, like a boiled egg kind of material, as they attach themselves to the ribs of Golbore. And you can see actually Golbore just above that rib cage, where the sacs are. You see this, the muscle and tissue of the heart lifting with each beat of it. What would you like to do?
I'm just going to try to pull one out, see if I can just pull it out, see what happens.
Okay. Make one more
just start
medicine
pulling out
check.
things, see what happens.
Pull out his lungs.
My man.
Finally.
Ooh.
All right, you get a good grip on the largest of the sacks and pull, and you hear this popping sound as the veiny vine-like growths had not been there long enough to get a good grip on the bone, and it pops out, and it's kind of squishy. And as you pull it out, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw as you begin pulling out the other three. A dexterity check, sorry, not saving throw.
While he's rolling that, I just have to say, I put my headset back on just now, and out of context, this seems really wrong.
No, it's all part
What
of
the
the plan.
hell is going on?
Goldbore's
So,
having open heart surgery in the middle of the desert.
It sounds like he's pulling out sacks with veiny vines and all sorts of other squishy things.
Just make sure you don't hit the side, because then it'll buzz.
Some giant wasp planted softball-sized testicles underneath my heart.
Aw, yeah.
Ira, you pull out all four. The last one, as you place it to the sand next to you, ruptures, and you see after it splits, again like a boiled egg with a thin layer shell. You see within it now this kind of flickering of movement as there is about a 3-inch long baby wasp.
Kill it!
That dies as it hits the air.
I want to tell somebody who has fire just to go ahead and kill it anyways. Make sure
Well,
they're
no,
all-
Havilar already had an action prepared. Havilar's standing there
Yeah.
nervously ready to smash anything that moves.
Roll an attack, Havilar.
Kill him!
You hit me or Golbore.
So Havilar just like jumps over Golbore and just starts like smashing the ground, and dust and sand goes flying everywhere, and two more of the sacks rupture as they roll over and spill out the insides as a couple more wasps just kind of roll out into the sand and die.
So, would Gesh have known about these wasp creatures, or is this something new? Is this something that they just, imported from wherever the fuck?
Give
My
me
nightmares.
give me a nature check.
By the way, seeing, when he's hacking at the ground like that, I would probably try to get over Golbore's wound. Use my body to
Yeah.
make no sand
sure.
and stuff.
Wow.
Gesh, well, didn't have many encounters with them for the most part, but these are desert wasps. Is
Okay.
the simple name they've been given, in the common tongue. But yeah, they are they use living creatures as places to incubate their eggs just before they hatch. Hence the carcasses that were probably the reason they were laying around the nest or the hive.
Yes, we're going to relate that why Golbore's being stitched back up. Like, oh yeah, no, I've heard of these things before. I never seen them this far east though. They
That's
stay
what I picture
on the
Ira
west
doing.
side of the mountain.
Golbore literally does not have any fucks to give about what Gesh is saying right now.
All right. So the remaining eggs are dealt with. Ira, you're now looking down at your patient who is still open.
Massive
wound is-
cure wounds.
Okay. How much do you cure? Okay.
18.
You place your hand directly onto the open wound, and this pulsing energy of this golden light goes into the wound, and from the inside out, you see it stitching itself like cross-stitching as the muscle and tissue and skin close up. And Golbore, you feel this relief and an instant relief of all the pain you had went through, and you are completely healed from the skills of Ira and blessings of Pelor.
Just a big, long... Ugh. Ease my way up. I'm sure it's still like a little tender.
Everyone step back. We need to cremate the area.
I did. By the way, I let out a really long fart because in surgery you don't want to fart.
So I sigh with like relief of the pain, like and fucking Ira's like, oh God.
All right. The eggs of the desert wasps taken from Golbore's body. What would you like
Everyone,
to do
back
now?
up, back up, back
Kill
up.
it with fire.
I'm gonna burn it. I wanna fire breath the remains.
All right. You very easily torch them, and they kind of pop
So,
and crack.
who wants supper?
Soup song, guys.
No,
So
I hear fried baby wasp nice and crunchy, you know?
I feel like now is a good time for a bio break.
Yes.
Yeah.
Took the words out of my mouth. I was just gonna see where you guys are gonna start traveling again, or are you gonna set up camp?
Just gonna travel.
I'm gonna make some baby wasp corn.
But before Golbore leaves, oh no, I want to whisper to him. It was fun being inside of you.
All right. So you all sit back on the path. It's about middle of the afternoon. Gesh, you know that the time it would take you to get to the southern tribe and be in eyesight of your clan's settlement would be about nightfall when you get there.
Gotcha.
You're left now. And let's go ahead and take a bio break.
Oh, thank heavens, I need a drink.
I'm gonna go throw up after that.
No, I killed it with fire, it's fine. It's been cleansed.
Alright, Burbs.
Hey, Joe. Apparently they did add the Lost Slam Van variant into the game.
Neat.
It's just not necessarily gettable by players.
Why?
Because stuff, they probably want to make you pay for it later.
The lost what now?
You lost Mimi.
What?
Your mama.
Please don't be like that.
I'll be how I want. This is America.
But I heard the Lost Slam Jam. I was like, what, were you talking about the Charles Barkley RPG or something? No kidding, look it up. They made a Charles Barkley RPG.
User
you guys talking
disconnected
about
from
the-
your channel.
You guys talking about the multiplication?
GTA.
Okay.
Oop, hold on.
Played that in a while. So, I know Joe's gonna kick me for this, but did you hear about my next character when this guy dies?
Huh?
My next character for when Gesh does. You know that bird dude I had?
Yeah.
Gonna be the ancestor of my bird dude. Still gonna be a crow monster. Although he's gonna be a bard. He's gonna be a member of a band called Status Crow.
That's a kicking right there.
Yes, it is. Go when you need him.
When you least
User in your
expect.
channel was kicked from the server.
There we go.
Or now.
Problem solved.
User joined your channel.
Thank you. I deserve that. My voice is cracking now because apparently I'm 30.
User in your channel was kicked from the server.
I added one from last week.
Yeah.
User joined your
Okay.
channel.
Well, it was also pretty willful.
That one was from last week. I forgot to get you.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't know. I think the more willful it is, the more kickings it requires. that wasn't just a slip. That was like a willful setup as well.
All right.
I'm
back. He's back.
Captain Man!
Ira, my man. Looking out for the old Golbore.
All right.
That makes up for me not healing your skeleton face. Or
Is,
didn't you heal that?
Everybody back? Is Krunch here?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I think I might get kicked again for my pun.
I am here.
Okay. So you all begin making your way towards the tribe of Geshes,
Allahu Akbar.
and the rest of the day goes uneventful as the sun begins setting behind the mountains that you are now quite close to. Wind basically buffeting off of the mountains and back at you, it getting pretty intense for the remainder of your journey. Eventually, as the sun begins to basically completely lose itself behind the mountains, another burst of purple and blue and orange filling the sky above you as Gesh, you see you're first to recognize the hide and wooden structures of the Wenai clan, the southernmost clan of Amkanars. And it's not at all how you remember it. Most of it is in shambles and disarray. There's, if you remember, the tribe of Wenai, there was about 40 Dragonborn in that clan, and it was actually the smallest of all 4 clans.
Okay.
And it being a smaller settlement, there's probably 1 or 2 remaining structures. As you guys make your way up to the outside of the settlement, everyone can now see it. There is it basically just looks like a ghost town. There doesn't seem to be anyone here. There's a couple structures still standing, but most of them are just torn asunder.
Any bodies or anything?
Make an investigation check. It doesn't look like there's any bodies.
Do you feel like we could check around as well? I mean, this is a pretty big space. I think we should split up, gang.
The sand wasn't here before. I'll shoot the eagles out of my eyes and I'll do some looking around.
Okay.
If nobody else will.
Perception.
I'll do a perception check, because why not?
4. Still too sandy. The eagles come out, they see the sand, they're like, nah, they go back to their folding lawn chairs and
7.
sunlight.
Well, see, most of the party isn't really familiar with this. You don't really know what you're looking for. Yeah, you're looking around Golbore. You can actually see in the distance through some a quick gust of sand. You can see it looks probably about 3 miles away. You see the silhouette of similar structures to the northwest. But other than that, like within here, I mean, you just see what you see, destroyed structures. There are 1 or 2 buildings remaining that seem to be mostly intact, but the rest are just knocked over, destroyed. You see some of the hide being this thick, leathery hide with rivets in it, and it's some of them are actually just ripped as if a sword made of pure fire tore right through it.
Oh, jeez.
That's hot.
Dude.
See these blast points? Too precise. And
Hey, I take offense to that as a sand-dwelling creature.
Good.
We prefer the term particulate Americans.
Like American, that's what I prefer.
What's in
So-
America?
So, have we searched inside?
No.
Well then, let's do that.
Yeah, Golbore's pretty
Would
well going to
Golbore
follow
like-
Gesh at this point. Like,
I was
follow
going to
Gesh
ask if
as well.
Golbore would like to go first in case of giant.
I will definitely, I'll definitely play Breacher here. But Golbore's pretty well following Gesh's commands at this point because he's not comfortable or familiar with the area. I'm used to
In that case-
mountains and.
I command you to take point. No, I'm kidding. I'll go first. So,
Okay,
guess you're gonna head in just while it's in there. He owns the place.
I'm a close second.
Okay,
there's
so-
Golbore.
All right, these structures aren't huge. Like the largest structure that's standing, which actually is one of the 2, it can fit all of you, but you'll probably all fill up the structure. It's not very large. But as Gesh, I guess, is the first one in. Gesh, you now are having, I guess you can call them flashbacks. You're starting to remember this from when you would come visit here during. The seasons when they would have weddings, and you remember coming here one time because this being the Wanai clan, they were known for their exploration and discovery of the land surrounding the area. And this particular structure you now recall is the Great Hall of Wanai. And this is where they kept several of the treasures they brought back from the civilizations that they found while journeying. As you all kind of walk around the room, which is basically just desolate. There's just dust kind of blowing about, but it doesn't seem like anything was stolen. Gesh, you can actually see a grouping of flowers that are still vibrant and colorful as they sit in a bowl. And those
So his
were
place
the
looks untouched.
yeah.
Wow, that's pretty sketch.
You
That's
see
probably
the,
out loud. Probably saying that out loud.
Okay. You see the Never Die flowers at the one I got from Skullport when they first contacted them. You see a stone carving of a dragon's head in the center against the far wall, mounted on a pedestal, and that was gifted from the Stone Giant tribe in the mountains. And then on the left-hand side, situated on a dresser stand kind of deal, there's a disc of pure gold that sits on a trophy-like hold, encrusted with several gems around the outside, and beneath it, on a plaque written in Draconic, it says from the ruins of Dawnborn.
What's Dawnborn? Any
So quick
guys know?
aside before you
Okay.
get in before you get into that bit. If nothing seems particularly like I don't know obvious to Golbore that like this is a clue to what has happened here or what's going on or whatever, he's probably gonna hit like the next building, the next structure. Start checking other nearby buildings.
Can I make a history check of what Dawnborn is?
Sure.
Okay.
And Golbore, as you go over to the next one, you throw back the hide-covered entry, and a snake slithers out from the structure and loses itself in the sand behind you. As you peer into the room, there's a hole in the top of the hide, and one of the wooden supports is cracked. And inside, as the wind kind of whips in behind you, it just looks like a family's dwelling that is now completely empty.
Okay.
I remember nothing.
Yeah, actually, Havilar, Dawnborn, you have no idea. You've never heard of it.
anyone else?
Why
What's
don't
their
you
name?
make a history check?
I think everybody else is AFK.
What are you talking about? I'm sitting right here.
I was gonna ask Krunch's character. Forgot her name because I'm an idiot.
I don't know who Krunch is.
What's a crunch?
Irwen, do you know what Dawnborn
Irwen,
means?
that's it. Princess Irwen.
At
Because
least I
Gesh
know.
doesn't know, and I wouldn't roll to even see if I know, because I don't know.
I know who that thing is.
You can make a history check.
Nope.
Yeah, I mean, you've heard the name, but it wasn't of any importance to you during your raising.
So as part of this, we're trying to figure out what exactly has happened in this area,
Mhm.
right? Because we can't get a straight answer.
Because everything else seems to be, destroyed in the back, but then this place is untouched, and I'd rather not, be taking any of this loot because it's not ours. This belongs to another tribe, and a tribe that's gone.
So
Yes,
as I'm pecking around, could I make an investigation check, try to figure out if I can tell what has happened specifically?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do also.
Okay.
So we're spreading out and looking around this area, I guess.
Yes.
All right. Both of you make investigation checks.
Can I look around see if there's any kind of religious stuff?
Yes. Make a religion check.
Ace.
So 15, 21, yes?
Can I make... Actually, I don't know if this is a check, but I have an ability called Primeval Awareness, where I can detect any of my... I believe it's my favorite enemies within 1 mile. And I don't know exactly where they are or how many, but I can detect beasts or undead within 1 mile of our current position. Do I feel their presence?
You have
That's the
to. I
guess.
think you have to. One. Luckily, my my PDF, my Adobe's crashing because such a wonderful program.
Oh yeah, dude. I love
Like
that.
the one time I've
Adobe.
needed to use it all night
So
long.
about that
is-
acrobat.
I don't understand why this happens in my life. Hoover, can you explain this to me after the game on how I can look at PDFs reliably?
I just open them in Chrome or something.
Yeah.
That'd be about the best thing.
I mean, it's
Okay.
a relatively low-profile PDF, right? Like, it's not your machine that's chugging because of it.
So it says beginning at 3rd level, you can
Yep.
use your action to expend 1 ranger spell slot to focus your awareness on the region around you for 1 minute per level of the spell slot you expend.
Mhm.
So I was to expend a level 1 and just kind of concentrate for a minute.
What's your favorite terrain?
Favorite terrain is either mountains or forest, of which is neither.
Yeah, okay.
So
Yeah, so
just
you can
within
sense
1
1
mile. Aberration, celestials, dragons, elementals, fae, fiends, or undead.
All right. So go ahead and what exactly are you looking for? Is it you said beasts?
Actually, now that I'm reading it, it doesn't say beasts on the list, but it's any aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead. So any of those, if there's any of those within 1 mile, I can sense them.
Yeah, and you have to pick one.
You have to pick one?
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure.
You can sense whether the following types of creatures are present within 1 mile of you. So it's all of them, it seems like, to me.
Okay.
It doesn't reveal the creature's location or number.
Okay. Let's see. So aberrations. Okay. So yeah, you kind of lift your hand up to the wind and you feel the nature around you, and you don't get a sense of any of those creatures within a mile.
That's disappointing. So I'll just go back to looking at dirt, I guess.
Or something else more useful, but yeah. So Golbore and Irwen, you all go out looking for clues about what happened here, and Golbore, you do find that though you don't see any bodies per se, there are plenty of signs of heavy combat on the eastern side of the settlement. You actually do see, and Irwen, you are the one who points this out to him, but you see ornaments in the sand, like swords, and there's a couple spears.
Okay.
And also, as Irwen, as you get closer and you look at the destroyed structures, it looks like some kind of blast of magical energy is what caused a lot of these tears, as they look like if you were to maybe hit a creature with a lightning bolt spell. Like crackling lightning just tearing through the hide and splintering wood in the process.
And we were attacked by lightning while we were on that ship as well, right? Yeah, I seem to recall the one that was throwing spells on top of the wyvern was throwing lightning.
I'm going to tell that to the party, Ace.
Okay.
While Irwin's going back to talk to the party, I would like to sit in the sand and I want to cast my first time using this. I've had it for a little while, but I want to use as a ritual speak with animals and see if if I might be able to call out to any animals that are nearby to ask them if they've what they've seen recently.
I'm an animal, yes.
I am dog. Hello?
I'm on the phone.
So you just like all out into the night, and you hear the only voice that you hear coming back to you. You hear this this tiny, small voice say, "You? Me? You?
You little one."
And you see this, what looks like basically a large horsefly come flying over to you and lands on directly on your leg as you're kind of kneeled down. Yes?
Golbore's going to give... Hold on, I'll link it. That face, and forget about it.
Havilar would like to walk over to Golbore and say, "Speaking to flies, I see. Looks like you need some water, pal. You're going insane."
When did Havilar show up?
I just kind of showed up.
I'm gonna smack Havilar in the cloaca.
Oh yeah.
I'd like to block.
You can't.
Okay, Golbore's rolling the hit. And while the slap happens, Ira, you find several religious
What is this game?
dedications to. Yeah, you get smacked right in the cloaca. Just slap. Sounds like somebody clapping two pieces of wood together. Ira, you find buried halfway in the sand a couple of dedications to what look like Behemoth.
Wow.
It's official. It's Friday.
Happy Friday.
We did it, everyone.
We did it.
We did it. Good job.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank
Really
you for your
contributing.
contribution to the stream. You were. We're streaming Joe streaming.
Every Friday.
Every
For a
Friday.
year without fail.
It's true.
Joe's stream is on the stream.
Yep, forever. Yeah, so Ira, you find several ornaments dedicated to Behemoth. And because a few of the drawings and inscriptions remind you of Silverthal and many of the things you saw there at the temple.
Did Gesh ever tell me what religion he followed? Because I know we talked a lot on the boat about different stuff.
Most likely.
Well, knowing...
I worship Dragon Allah as my Lord and Savior.
Well, I will call over to him and point at it and say Behemoth. Point to it. Just one word, Behemoth, or whatever it was.
And I guess I would just nod because I'm kind of confused what he's asking exactly.
I found this. And just point at it.
And where'd you say you found it?
Wasn't it buried? Half buried?
Was it like a whole statue? Like what was it again exactly?
It looks like a small statue, not like a, but it's made out of a nice material. It's not like just rock or stone.
Mm-hmm.
It's this smooth, maybe like a marbly type texture. And it's a bust of Behemoth.
In that case, yeah, I'm gonna give Ira like an affirmative nod, like a thank you, and then pull it out of the sand. I'll dust it off.
Then I'll go back to whatever it was I was doing before that.
And as I'm probably looking up, I'm gonna probably see Golbore over there in the east, and walk over towards him.
So we've deduced that there was a fight that's, I mean,
On
as
the east
vague as
side,
that
yeah.
can be, and that there was somebody or something causing drastic lightning damage based on the burns, and that they had enough respect for the relics in that one building, correct, not to touch them?
Well, Ace?
Ace
I
of
mean,
Spades.
that would be a deduction of your own accord. I mean, you know that they were not damaged in any way.
Okay.
So I mean, it's whatever you deduce.
Right. Okay.
And then, are you going to share that with like Gesh and that?
Yeah, I mean, I imagine you said. I thought you said you were headed towards me,
Definitely.
so I'm laying out the information that I've pulled together. So it
I mean-
sounds like this is the work of the Blue Dragonborn. I believe that they're being supported by one of these major dragons. We need to find whatever help you seek, and we need to move against them quickly.
I mean, the only thing that is strange to me is that why would they leave main hall untouched? That's the only mystery I see.
Who says this isn't a trap?
I mean, the only thing there that we couldn't identify is that plate. I'd much rather not be taking relics, looting from dead kinsmen. So, gone searching with the other village, my village. See if we can find some more troops there.
Okay.
Party agree?
Golbore's following.
I'm following.
Watch
Sure.
or follow.
I'm just the guy that cuts up people.
Everybody's following.
Follow for follow.
Sub for sub.
Okay. And Golbore, you can see it before you approach. As you begin walking towards the westernmost village, and headed towards Gesh's clan of the Valiasa. Golbore, you're the first to see this, but as everyone draws closer, you begin to see torchlight kind of illuminating this slightly larger village. As you're walking closer towards the mountains, this village itself is made up, the structures are, a lot of them are basically built out of slabs of rock, also some wooden hide structures as well, but a lot of it takes advantage of the natural terrain. There is a little bit of damage on the easternmost side, but it seems a lot of this village is untouched for the most part. You do see, as you walk up, you see recent tracks in the sand and in the desert around the village. And as you grow closer, you can make an investigation check.
Oh my god! Just tell me that it's clearly rabbit tracks.
Can Golbore's going to lean in towards Absolutely or Draco, and ask him if he can scout ahead.
Can I make an investigation check too?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I'd be able to figure out, if these tracks are similar to mine.
You gotta remember, just because you roll low doesn't mean your guy's like suddenly an idiot. So in this situation, like you're checking these tracks, and it must have been like the shifting sands, but it's difficult to tell what caused these tracks.
They look relatively recent, though.
Well, since you're in a desert and like the wind is pretty consistent, yeah, they're probably within the last hour or so.
All right. So do you think we should follow these tracks then, and send Draco up ahead? We probably get eaten by more wasps that are walking in the sand. Does that make sense?
And, as you're now probably a couple, or at this point now a few hundred yards away, about 300 feet away from the village, Gesh, you look up and you can now see off in the distance, a little bit further than the village, equidistant from the four clans, is the large shrine to Bahamut, looming in the night, shrouded by the sandy winds. And you're reminded of many festivals there celebrating the blessings and might of the metallic god.
And do the tracks head off in that direction, you said?
Well, there are tracks all around the village. But yeah, there's tracks going towards it. And away, there's just some on the outskirts. It doesn't look like a particular trail. I'm talking about, you just see there are some kind of tracks. Doesn't necessarily look like they're going in any direction specifically.
So I'm thinking, if there are survivors, and if anyone were to be holed up anywhere, it would be in our Dragon Cathedral place. So, I think we should go there.
I will go scout the cathedral.
So, Gesh, you will recall the shrine is not an interior structure. There's no inside necessarily.
Still,
it's made.
Okay, never mind.
It's this gigantic shrine built in between the tribes. It's made of 4 50-foot tall pillars, each with special engravings representing each clan. And the pillar, all four of the pillars are connected by massive arches from the top of each pillar that meet in the center, where there's this huge diamond that connects them all.
Well, in that case, we should probably go into the village if there's tracks around it. Onwards, my slaves.
I will not scout ahead if Gesh calls me a slave. I will stand there and not move.
Pardon me, you must understand, Common's my second language.
Hmm. Is that so?
Smooth.
Yes.
Smooth.
I apologize, friend.
Very well. I will go and scout the cathedral.
No, the village. There's no cathedral.
There's no cathedral.
Okay, I will go and scout whatever's over there that everybody's been talking about, because it changes constantly.
Alright, so you guys make your way towards Gesh's village, the torchlight beginning to grow brighter, and you begin to see humanoids and dragonborns moving about in the village.
Humanoids and dragonborns?
Oh, dragonborns are humanoids.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
But you see dragonborns moving about. Nadine, you are immediately reminded of this place. It's in much better condition
What color
than
are
the other clan you're at. Well, they're all the same color as Gesh.
Yes.
And you see there is the so you recall, Gesh, this is the Valiasa, which in Draconic, that in Common, that translates to voice. And there were about 50 Dragonborn that lived here, and there were about 30 or so warriors.
Okay.
It was when you last left, you had a commander who ruled this part of the clan, a war chief, and there was the tribe seer. Those were the three most important people of the clan. Your clan in particular was known for the knowledge that they keep within the seer's tome. He has his own place closest to the mountains, built into this rocky cave, where he keeps all the knowledge of the clans of Amkunar in a tome that is only granted to the next seer that's passed down generation to generation. And not only were you known for keeping that knowledge for all four clans, your clan was also known for the great center structure, which was more of kind of like a double-sided amphitheater. So imagine two about medium-sized amphitheaters facing each other.
Okay.
And this was called the Great Versation Hall. And this is where your clan would meet to just discuss things and debate, and bards and people who could play instruments and sing would come here and perform. Sometimes compete against each other, and then in times of congregation with other clans, they would come, and there the seer would tell stories, and people would discuss all sorts of things in the culture. And as you walk in, there seems to be a somber presence in the clan. Not many people really looking up and addressing you. It looks like they're going about their daily life. It looks like there's been a lot of rebuilding. But there's probably about 75 or so people here now.
But they're still, alive.
Well,
very good.
You're still just walking in. You haven't really sought out anyone, but you do see a gathering of several, a big grouping of about a dozen or so Dragonborn over near the seer's hut.
We'll head over that way.
Okay.
Walking, like windswept.
Okay. You walk over, and you get up to the crowd, and you walk up to hearing the seer speaking to the group and saying, "As night falls, We must keep a watchful eye on the eastern horizon. Do not let another attack catch us unaware. Now, back to your homes. Go, and may Bahamut be with us. The group disperses and mumble amongst themselves. And several of them are fully armored up and go off in a group discussing what they would do if they saw a blue dragonborn.
How about a red one? Let's approach these guys.
I'm probably going to go over to the seer and try to get his attention.
Ah, Nadine, it is a pleasure to see you. Is Tarqin with you?
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find him intact. He traveled with this group here, and unfortunately gave his life in assisting them. So,
This group?
yes, it doesn't seem like there's much good news on your end either.
No. We've lost many. Including Dark Elvesh, our noble commander, and our war chief, Radezar foe. You remember them well?
Yes.
You fought beneath them many times.
So what was it, the Blues?
Yes.
Is there
Led by
coming
the
in
Thunder
number?
Tyrant.
A dragon, I'm guessing.
One that's been whispered to have been gone for generations.
What of our lord? Any news of him?
Who do you speak?
I speak of our Blues namesake, Kumnar himself.
Kunar. Yes. Still, no one has heard. But tell me. And he takes a deep breath as he kind of looks back towards the hut of his, and he looks back at your group as he stands up off of this rock that he was sitting on while addressing the group, and he's kind of hunched over, and he has a long snout with like what a bearded dragon would have, kind of dangling low. And
he's a little
he looks
baby
up.
draggy.
He's got a little hunch in his neck from the years of holding his head high, I suppose. And he looks back at you, kind of changing the subject quickly, and says, "Tell me of your party you travel with. Who are they?"
I believe it would be best if they introduce themselves. And then I'm going to, gesture over to them and, have them approach. Just call them over.
The seer looks up with a longing eye, curious.
Bender Bending Rodriguez.
From Bending State?
Interesting name.
Did you say there was a statue or an altar to Bahamut somewhere near here?
Not within direct eyesight of where you are now.
Is there any kind of like religious thing I could show, reverence to?
I don't know. Do you go look for one?
I just in the general vicinity as we're walking up. If there's one within sight, then I'll do that.
No, not really. No.
Okay.
Watcher introduce himself as Watcher.
I'll walk up and say, "I am Draco Madric of the Feywild."
I will walk up and say, I am Ira, son of Palor. Or child of Palor, sorry. Not son.
Havilar would like to walk up and say, "I'm Havilar Blazewing of Timanther, the rightful heir to the throne."
Them's fighting words.
Want to fight, kid?
Havilar, as you walk up, the seer kind of stands a little taller and says, "Nadine, you travel with one of red.
Yes.
Why is this?"
Not necessarily willingly, but in accordance with, crap, what was her name? Get the white one.
Is she a prisoner?
Ace, what was the white dragon's name?
Galzra?
Golbore. Yes, that was her name. In accordance with her, she appears to be cool. Doesn't seem to have evil intent, so we let her travel with us.
So she's not a prisoner?
No, not the moment yet.
How about
Although
you,
she's
like,
been a prisoner in the past. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
You want to fight, kid?
As you say, do you want to fight to Gesh? You see the seer raise his arm quickly, and two dragonborn in armor pull out spears and point them directly at you.
Whoa! All right. It's just a little banter. All right.
You're gonna kill the party. You're gonna kill the party. You're gonna kill the party.
Again.
I'm not trying
I take steps away from Havilar.
I'm not trying to provoke. I'm just having a little joke. All right.
You
Just
will
a
mind
friend.
yourself on these sacred grounds.
I'm like 90% sure that every city we go to, we almost get arrested at least twice.
But yeah, no, don't mind her. Besides her mouth, she has a good soul.
Thanks.
One that keeps getting us in trouble.
With our recent struggles, she will be quick to lose a head.
I know that's
if
what
she
we keep
doesn't
telling
mind
her,
her tongue.
but she doesn't seem to listen.
It could be the end of her, sooner rather than later.
Foreshadowing.
Very well. A powerful group of warriors you have with you, I can see.
Yes.
Come. I would like to have a word. I've been waiting for a group such as yourselves. Follow me. And he walks towards the hut.
Certainly an interesting welcome back to home, but ain't no rest for the wicked. Now follow him in.
Okay. Just Gesh?
I guess we all follow.
Yeah,
nobody's talking.
Golbore's gonna continue to just sort of linger behind.
I'm following, but I'm also looking for a statue.
Golbore is entirely out of his element, so he's just at this point he's kind of waiting for instruction. I know that Gesh wants to round up his posse, and then we got to chase down some blue dragonborn. So at this point, I'm letting Gesh round up his posse.
I don't even think we're able to round up our posse.
Your posse has
There's
been
not much
wrecked?
posse. There's not much posse to go around right now.
Oh man, it's a shame when you show up to a party and there's no posse.
I know. Where the squad at?
The seer leads you into basically his cave, which there's not a lot of room here, but there's basically the entrance is about it's about 10 by 10 feet, and there's a staircase dug into the ground, and he requests that you wait in the area, and you know that you would never go down the staircase because that is where the seer keeps his tome, and it is completely forbidden for anyone to even see the tome or even know the knowledge within its bindings. The seer disappears beneath the spiraling stone staircase and goes beneath you all as you wait awkwardly in the silence. And then after a couple minutes, you hear as he stumbles back up the stairs, his heavy old dragonborn feet slapping on the rock. He comes up and kind of hoists his belt up a little higher and You see actually beneath his arm is the tome itself. And he pulls it out and lays it on a wooden table to the side and opens the page, opens the book. And you see several pages for a glance before he looks at it quickly and then shuts it almost as quickly as he opened it. Several pages with drawings of a dragon and ancient draconic words that Gesh, you can't even understand yourself.
Nope. All Greek to me.
But he shuts the tome and places it back under his arm, and he says, "You know, this is a time of danger and a time of great risk. You know of the attack now. We need your help and the help of our father."
What can we do to help? I mean, already got in contact with the white dragon up in the far north. She is what sent us down here.
White? I think you mean silver.
Yes, silver, excuse me.
Yeah. So that wouldn't be Galzra, that'd be Sarah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
I was like, why is he referencing a white dragon?
I meant silver, sorry. I forgot.
Okay.
Because he's racist.
He says, "Hey, you speak of Serloth Thor,
Yes.
the most powerful of the metallic dragons."
We have met her. In fact, she sought us out.
"Then it is fate indeed you are here."
Indeed, I feel very blessed to be put upon this quest.
"Only seers of the clan know of Amkunar and his dwelling. No one knows where he is but my mind and this tome. Kept secret for generations, for hundreds and hundreds of years. Amkunar has been sleeping."
If I may be so bold to ask, where is he? And how can we wake him?
"Closer than anyone could have ever imagined."
He's underneath the center shrine, isn't he?
No, not that close.
Oh, okay.
But, and he is make sure that the hide is covering the entrance to the hut, and he says, "Amkunar rests in his lair, in the center of the Dead Sand Mountains, in the Great Spire, on the eastern side of Dawnborn."
Well then,
The path is detailed on this map, within the tome.
well, we can't very well take the tome, and I'd rather not rip that out. How should we get the map?
This moment has been waited for. We've been waiting for the opportunity to call on our God and our Father to help us in this time of need and peril. Take this map. It has been waiting for hands such as yours.
And Gesh gonna make like an O face.
And he pulls out from beneath his thick robes this rolled up map and hands it to you.
Gesh is filled with positive religious energy. Like, oh my god, yes, all this cool shit starts happening. Of course, not audibly, but he's
So
he's
as
fanboying.
as you take the map, he doesn't let go at first, and he looks at you, and he says, "You are our only hope. This is the only map to Amkunar's lair. Should you choose this mission, you must find our father and tell him of the danger that has beset upon us, and tell him and he gives a cough. Says, Adborak flies again.
Very well. You have my sword in honor as a Dragonborn, as a son of Anklenar. This will be done. Now the question is, if the clan, if the village can hold out, if I should maybe stay behind or ask one of my partners here to stay behind to assist.
Maybe they could shackle up Havilar? Use
No,
Havilar like a guard dog?
I'd rather not be, burned at the stake just yet.
Havilar just, like, hanging out at the outskirts of the village, just barf! Sweet Dragonborn slave Leia costume on.
Like a bitch.
Like a bitch.
I will slap you. Can I slap Watcher?
Go for it. Yeah.
Watcher can break you in half.
Slap a piece of metal. See how that works.
No fighting in the most holy of holies.
Ask his face if he actually feels it.
Slap a guy with a 23 AC.
Ping!
Do it. You won't.
All right. So what did you ask him something?
Yeah.
I asked him if we could, like, if we're going to be able to hold out, or if maybe one of us should stay behind and assist.
What do you mean by that? I'm not sure what you mean.
Like,
what about that dick that's always running off eating mushrooms? We can just leave him here.
Yeah, I've got him in my bag of holding.
Is Eldur still a thing? Is he still alive?
I just keep him in my bag of holding where he eats mushrooms and masturbates all day.
No,
hold on. I just put my headset back on and I hear nothing but mushrooms and masturbation. I'm like, what?
We're talking about Eldur.
Eldur, your character.
You're currently riding in Golbore's bag of holding, eating mushrooms and masturbating.
I'm sorry to break it to you guys, but last time I saw Eldur, he was being inducted into some kind of death cult.
Last time I saw Eldur, he was in a sewer with a tiefling.
Really, at this point, Eldur's pretty much just in a snow globe.
Last time I saw Eldur, he was running away from the fight and deserting all of us, so I don't really want to see him ever again.
I just imagine that Eldur is actually, like, if he is actually on copious mushrooms and he's yanking it, that as far as he knows, he's, like, making balloon animals.
I learned how to make a snake.
Woo!
One of these days, we're just gonna pull him back into reality, and he's just gonna have a stroke or something because he can't handle the culture shock.
It's a poodle. All right, so we were waiting an answer from the shaman.
I don't know. Eldur's a pretty simple guy. He's like, "Can I still shoot arrows?" Okay, I'll check.
So, the seer looks up and says, again, he says, "No, I suppose there's no hurry, but we are constantly vigilant for another assault from the blue-scaled fiends to the east. We seek vengeance for what they've done to our people."
There'll be time enough for that. I mean, the question is, if we leave and come back, there isn't going to be some kind of Deus Ex Machina that wiped all you guys out, is there?
You've learned strange words on your journeys, Nadine.
I know, these Westerners are really fucking weird. I mean, just look at that guy right there. I'm going to be pointing at Eldur, or not Eldur, excuse me, Draco.
Really? That's an insult.
But nevertheless, as long as you guys are going to be fine without us, then we'll deliver this post-haste, and then deliver, with Amkanar's help, the head of this blue dragon on a pike.
We have 40 warriors to defend our clan. 40 remain from the hundreds lost in battle. It is your choice to seek Amkanar or slay Borak yourself. The Thunder Tyrant never sleeps and longs for the day she can wipe us from this earth.
I mean, what does the party think? Let's
Cool.
all make this
A little
into a
less worried
democracy.
about your tribe and more worried about the world.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well-
but this is my world, though. This is all I got.
We seem to have. I don't recall specifically where we got the information, but there seemed to have been information that the Blue Dragonborn were colluding with one of the actual dragons we needed to slay. So
That's the theory, anyways.
well, we don't have anything else to go on, so it might behoove us to lay siege on these Blue Dragonborn and interrogate them.
But then,
Or, I'll ask Gesh because I like Golbore doesn't want to disrespect his shaman. And he doesn't know how to speak to him. So Golbore is going to ask Gesh to ask the shaman if he knows anything about the dragons we seek.
I'm going to relay that. If there's any other knowledge that the book may contain that would help us in our quest. If there's any kind of weakness we can exploit with beings to the east, so that we can get rid of that, so then we can move on and wake Amkanar.
Well, we now know for certain that Borak, the Thunder Tyrant, she keeps her lair beneath Reef Spire Keep to the east. There, she wields her militant army of Blue Dragonborn. Though we have killed many, the might of Borak in recent battles has failed too many of our warriors to continue fighting. We have to defend. But yes, the Thunder Tyrant is beneath Reef Spire Keep. There you will find her.
Let's go kill her.
What more do you wish to know?
I wish to know if I have your permission, go fight dragons.
You have my permission to spray the blood of Borak and her sons of thunder across the eastern sands.
We'll come back bathed in her blood. I say we go east and get this fucker.
I say we go look for the dragon. Just think how many dudes we could kill with the dragon on our side.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I don't know if I want to fight one giant dragon with just the 6 of us.
I mean, we're kind of getting sidetracked from our original goal here, which is, to prevent the world from being destroyed.
Is there something that I'm, like, as a player, like, I'm not recalling the, like, information that we had about these dragons?
No,
They're
you just
big
are.
and they're bad.
It sounds like you all are choosing different paths as a party.
So I'm gonna ask the party, what other information do we have to work with? There's a Blue Dragonborn that's pulling power from some unknown source as of late, and that seems to be the best lead that we have.
I mean, I'm kind of biased because I'm from this place, but the way I see it is, we're essentially, gearing up for a big, huge, major war here. So, I mean, if anything, even if we fail going east, that's denying resources to the enemy. Because if we get rid of these boos and save our bronze here, and then wake Amkanar, then that's that much resource the enemy doesn't have, and we have, 40 plus Dragonborn warriors that we can call on anytime we want then.
And that's attacking the minor villain and completely ignoring Hitler.
I think it's more like killing Goring while leaving Hitler alive.
On the other hand, we could wake up our dragon and still do your part with our dragon, and then take out the bigger dragon without having the risk of losing more people than we need to.
Basically, the long and the short of the way I see it is you're wanting to delay finding the guy that we're supposed to be finding when we already think he may be in Perron, is actively being sought by the bad guys, and you're wanting to go traipse off for however many weeks to go settle a personal vendetta.
Wait, who are you talking about? Because I obviously am not recalling that, or I probably would have gone that route.
That's why we're here, is to find, I forget his name off the top of my head.
Amkanar.
That's why we're here in the sands, to find a friendly metallic dragon at behest of the dragon chick back in Orphan Town. Whatever.
Ah.
And didn't we just get a map from the guy saying what the last known place of that person's lair? On Canars?
Yes.
Okay,
So
that was
have
a
a better
misunderstanding
lead.
on my part then.
To me, getting him into the game is far more important than wasting how much time settling this personal vendetta and potentially getting that guy killed because we didn't wake him up in time.
Well, I mean, it's obvious that they don't know where this guy is, otherwise they wouldn't be attacking us, because, I mean...
For now.
The Blues would know about the shaman. The Blues would know about the book. There's no way they don't.
We're not prepared to fight an army, though. I agree with Watcher. I think
6 or 7 people versus an army of thousands aren't good numbers at all.
I don't think it's thousands.
It would be a colossal waste of effort and skillful use of soldiers.
I think it's too big of a risk, because just because they don't know where he's at now does not necessarily mean they won't find him before we can get back.
We were almost dealt with handily by, 5 of them before? We need some more manpower, or dragon power.
We got attacked by that one turtle on the way over to Dragonland, the sea turtle or whatever it was.
I don't remember the sea turtle.
You weren't in that group.
You weren't there.
He wasn't with us.
And we almost died to that one.
Yeah, so Golbore's going to cast his vote for the Amkanar, the lair.
I mean, the only thing that I'm worried about is, if I knew that we'd be able to hold out handily, and we didn't already take this many casualties, I'd be right for it, just, grabbing them, waking them up, and doing whatever, but I can't just leave my people to die.
The hard truth of a war is that sometimes people have to die. We can do everything we can to prevent your clan from being wiped out, but unfortunately there may be the sacrifices required for the world.
And if we just crash against the cliffs of the fortress that the Blue Dragonborn have established behind their power, then your people will die regardless.
Perhaps you should counsel the rest of your clan to go into hiding rather than fortifying one area.
Well, I mean,
scatter to the winds.
Shaman, would we be able to do that?
Strategic disappearance.
Take the book, hide it, or no, I wouldn't be able to take the book, never.
I mean, long and short of it is, you have 40 able warriors. Even if we stood our ground here, we still wouldn't be able to stand up against the Blue Army, plus a dragon, potentially.
Yeah, definitely not.
And once we awaken the dragon, he may be willing to help.
Heck yes.
The seer hearing that, hearing what your brief exchange right there, he speaks up and says, "Don't pretend like we didn't kill dozens and scores of Blue Dragonborn when they attacked over Lake Rhina. You'll find their bodies scattering the sands east of the clan.
And your soldiers are weary and injured and tired. Can you do that again?"
No, which is why we must defend ourselves and use the strength of the mountains behind us.
Use the strength of the mountains to hide in them. Fight only if you must. Let us go get this dragon and return with reinforcements.
Exactly. I mean, the only way I'd feel safe doing this is if I wouldn't even say that you can assure, but if you could try to not try to make this a last stand, try to go to ground, fight I think they call it a guerrilla war in the West, Is that the right word I'm looking for?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Golbore.
Golbore pulls his nature knowledge to confirm. Yes, gorillas do that.
Make a persuasion check with advantage, Gesh.
On whom is he persuading?
The seer?
Okay.
You would have us leave our home for all these generations. You'd have us flee from battle. I've never entertained the thought.
Only temporarily. We'd come back for it as soon as we have our Lord with us.
If he chooses to join us, he is the Father and can deny the Son.
Dare I say it'd be a fool not to. Although such words are heresy.
Did you not speak of Thor sending you to get Amkanar to meet with her?
Yes. Yes, she did. Or yes, I did. Yes, I was trying to say, yes.
Then do you think it is wise that Amkanar go into battle alone, without his brothers or sisters?
Possibly not, but I mean...
We do have a means of communicating with the dragons.
I was about to say, you can get this read from her mouth herself, but worst case scenario, we go with him and serve him as our ancestors did, as his personal servants. And then when the time comes, when the appointed time comes, possibly find a new land to call home, or reclaim this. Maybe somewhere even more prosperous, somewhere more green.
Very well. Wise words from such a young scale. Tomorrow, at first light, our people will move into the mountains. There, we will await your word.
Very good. We did make the Dragon Taliban, didn't I?
Basically.
I went into this, making this like desert clan, kind of like sort of like, Persian, Middle Eastern, and then here we go, making them into the Taliban.
So we're at 2 hours 52 minutes. I think we're.
No. If you would please go, I must get some rest.
Yes, very well. I'll leave you to it then. Behemoth Akbar to you, shaman.
Strange Western terms. May Behemoth be with us all.
You hear his clawed dragonborn feet scratching the stone as he walks down.
Swag. So what did he say? What are we supposed to do? Translate for me.
We have to secure some Stinger ground-to-air missiles from the American government in order to shoot down any passing over Soviet dragons.
What's America and what's a Soviet dragon?
Yeah, you want to try that one
I
more
refuse to wear a
time?
hat that looks like a tea cozy.
No, but I think we decided we're going to go west and wake Amkanar, and then my boys are going to be Talibaning it up.
Lord.
Sounds good.
All right. Do you guys sleep? Are you gonna sleep here for the night, or are you gonna
No.
go ahead and set off towards the mountains as soon as possible? Because it's right now it's full nighttime. It's probably about it'd be like midnight.
Golbore could definitely use some rest to heal his gaping chest wound.
Well, don't worry. You feel fully strength from that because Ira healed you completely.
Ha ha! Pansies, let's be on our way.
So you feel no irritation at all. Like it's fully healed.
I'd like to rest because nobody ever healed me, and I had a stinger going through my chest.
You didn't ask nicely enough.
Oh, I don't know.
You didn't offer me offer me your cloaca.
What? Hmm?
Well, I'm not gonna give it. I'm not that kind of woman. All right, back off.
Well, no heal for you.
I'll
Donnie
do it
gave it to
myself.
So are resting?
We're
moving?
Resting.
Okay.
Resting.
Yeah, I guess we're resting.
Resting before we go westing.
Yes.
Okay.
Shut up.
A few of the tribes will let you know that there are enough empty homes that you are able to get a couple. And you do see the remnants of dragonborn families that once lived in a peaceful tribal situation, now missing in action, probably dead.
Gesh definitely wants to check up on his personal hut and, check on, essentially socialize. We're not going to RP it because that'd be 15 fucking hours, but, he's going to...
You definitely meander about, speak with some of your former comrades in arms, and they tell you that you talk about the battle, and they tell you they lost many of their mounts, but they still have a couple remaining, and you tell them that how yours is missing, and you go through that whole story, and the night passes uneventfully. You all wake the next morning to the sound of many voices calling out orders, voices in reply. You hear scurrying and moving about as you open the hide of the tent. The sun being rising in the east, giving this kind of eerily hopeful light to this what at night looked like a somber, desolate, funeral, as such. The sun giving hope to the day and hope to the Valiasa clan and Nadine's people. You all wake, finish your rations before a few dragonborn women who keep the tribe bring you meat from their recent hunt to refill your rations, and you set off westward into the mountain pass, eventually breaking off from the Valiasa clan, the seer wishing you well and praying for a safe return with good news. And you, after about an hour of walking, you find yourselves being shadowed by large peaks of desert and red dusted stone and rocky mountains as that familiar desert wind whips through the pass. And that's where we'll end this session.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one thing I have to apologize for is I feel like my RP is a bit too dry, but I don't want to be waking.
No, you're good, man.
Yeah,
So
no idea how hard it was to avoid saying the spice must flow every 5 minutes.
I
So
know,
just-
right?
just an FYI to the one person that's watching the stream that doesn't know, we're taking a break from D&D next week. We're going to play a good friend's new TRPG that is currently in beta, Identico. So I left you a link in the chat. Check it out. Yeah.
Roll for spots now?
Identico. Yep, we're going to go roll for slots.
Wait, Joe, you can't leave.
Bye.
You have to roll for spots.